7 o'clock in St. Louis. You're listening to The Morning After 101 ESPN and the TMASTL YouTube channel. Show presented to you by Brown and Crouppen from the Stiefel Studios. Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn, Martin Kilcoyne with you on the program. Jackson Burkett is on the ones and twos. And it is the Healthcare Evolution at 7 o'clock hour where you can call in and talk it over with Chairman Kurt at 314-974-0101. Callier and Thompson phone lines. You can text in. Air Comfort Service. Text inbox 314-399-9646. And, of course, talk it over in the TMASTL YouTube chat, which is brought to you by Michelob Ultra. Get involved on the program. It is a show that welcomes the people to participate in a wide variety of ways. But first, Doug Vaughn has your Lifetime Roofing lead. Doug, the Sadie Hawkins now brought to you by Lifetime Roofing. Hello again, everybody. Well, this is a big moment for you because the Fitzpatricks won yesterday at the Zurich.
That's not it.
Yikes. Joel Quenneville is on the verge of advancing to the Western Conference semis as Connor McDavid is on the brink yet again, except this time it's not in the Stanley Cup final. Oh, and LeBron couldn't close out the Rockets and blamed himself. Anything else? I guess the Doggies had a lead, but didn't manage the...
How about the Redbirds? I am not going to be much good to you today. After three-game sweep? No, 4 in a row? No, I don't suppose I'll have much energy today.
You think in other markets where a football team loses over the weekend, you're going to lead with baseball?
Well, I don't know. Probably not.
Okay.
Doug and I looked up. The big board, the worldwide leader, had a great debate going on. Who had the better draft, Jets or Giants? So we had kind of a mini debate before the show, Tim.
That was awesome. That was fun to watch, too, because I just got to watch it.
If you want to carry...
I was on a Davenport.
Carry that over if you want. Jets, Giants. We'll hand out our grades.
I don't know.
For the whole country to watch. Jets and Giants, what the whole world is buzzing about.
Well, Doug wants to lead with the Cardinals, so I guess that's what we'll do.
Well,
sucks. Bad move. Bad move. Lifetime Roofing, the sponsor of the lead here on TMA. Welcome aboard to Lifetime Roofing, new sponsor here on the morning after. Doug thinks it's the Cardinals, and the Cardinals are coming tra-la.
I was thinking about Lifetime Roofing. They're going to get some calls after the storms roll through here today, probably.
Yeah, you better believe it. Yeah, go online at lifetimeroofing.com. That's that Dustin McClendon. He's a good guy is what he is.
That's right. Cardinals had the roof blown off Busch Stadium over the weekend.
No.
A couple close games, but just didn't win any of them. But, this club, maybe they will bounce right back, Tim. That's what I'm hoping. Romero and O'Brien have both been darn near hitless the first 3 weeks of the season, and they kind of struggled this weekend. If those two have problems, and the Cardinals could have real issues. Although Stanek looked great last night.
Yeah, that was a pleasant surprise.
Here's what you do, Doug. You turn this into a little first segment, and you
Talk
say...
about the Jets and Giants again?
No, you say, coming up, is this the beginning of a Cardinals spiral? We'll talk about it.
What are your thoughts on Saquon Barkley maybe switching to offensive line because their struggles?
Listen, I forgot you're off today. You're not in school, so I start the day with a child with a dumb call to start the day. What's the second one? Sorry to waste everybody's time with
Ron
that.
In St. James.
You can't keep the kids away from the phone. Ron in St. James, what's up, Ron?
Oh, my God, Mike. That was crazy.
Well, that's just a kid who got the phone, has nothing to do all day, is bored. Read a book, kid.
No, it's like...
He really put him in his place.
He was not going to take that for a second.
Boy, he really put him in his place.
The Battlehawks won this weekend!
Oh.
That's from Colonel, and his last name's Angus. They did. Angus beef.
Nice W for our side.
Well, that's why I thought the Lifetime Roofing lead, at least at the very least, you would consider it Lifetime Roofing STL.com. LifetimeRoofingSTL.com. So, yeah, if you did run into some storm roof damage, LifetimeRoofingSTL.com.
Fly with me, lesbian battlehawk.
Like that. Does that change your mind now that you've heard that?
No.
Is that Engelbert Humperdinck?
I believe it was, yeah. And that was a real guy, too, wasn't Icky?
The lead is Brady Tkachuk being rumored to join Jackson's boy Connor Bedard in Chicago, and Blues Nation losing its mind. It's from the Hunchback of Von Castle. I got to be honest with you, I wasn't aware that was happening. I saw the Senators were dispatched by the Hurricanes, but I didn't know that Brady Tkachuk was heading to the Blackhawks. Hockey went wingy?
I saw people speculating what it would take for the Blues to get him, but I didn't know that it was already talked about that he was going to Chicago.
If only there was a third Kachuk kid, then we could talk. We talked about Matthew forever. Mm-hmm. Now we've shifted to Brady. Who has played, this will make you feel old. He's played 8 seasons already in Ottawa. Yes. He's played 8.
How old is he now?
I don't know, 25 maybe.
Is it that all he is?
Ish. 6.
8.
I remember meeting him. Doug, was that 2018?
I don't know the years, Tim.
And we were in an area at the 2018 PGA Championship. Is that between? I don't even know. I can't find Bellerive, but I think it's between the 2 green and 3 tee boxes. Is it 3 a par 3? I know you joined there in 20.
Yeah, but I rarely play.
You would just to let people know.
Yeah, just for the prestige. I use the pool occasionally.
And Walt was there with Brady, and he was making his decision whether or not to go to college or go pro, like within the next day or two. But the thing that stood out to me about it was an hour earlier, Justin Rose had run into that area to take a recreational.
Oh, no.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep. I go, oh, there's the guy who lost to Sergio in the playoff at the Masties. Little would I know that why 8 years later, 7 years later, he'd lose in a playoff to Rory. My focus was his recreational while I met Brady Kachuk, who apparently is headed to the Blackhawks. Now we're full circle.
I don't know that we know that for sure.
Where that tushy boat, hey.
And this was during the tournament, the recreational?
That's correct. You can pull up the video if you want.
How embarrassing would that be?
Well, what else are you going to do?
Are you sure it just wasn't number 1 real quick?
I would think you'd find a shrub.
Not in a tournament, you wouldn't.
Does the PGA Championship conduct themselves like the Masters? When you walk into you are asked, number 1 or number 2? And then you're directed a certain way, Doug. Augusta doesn't mess around.
Well,
right.
If it's number 1, you can't blame a gentleman. If it's number 2, I hope he didn't take anything to read. Wasn't like that, was it?
Because it was 2018, the USA Today was still...
He had a paper, magazine. That'd be bad form. Everyone else just has to wait.
Yeah. I mean, number 3 is a very gettable hole, as you know, from playing there for the last quarter century.
Yeah. Although if it was a true emergency situation, you wouldn't care what else is going on. You just take care of it as fast as you could.
I'm eating chicken wings on the potty.
Yeah, well, that's not an emergency.
Papers are sending a message to everybody that there will be no criticism of drops today. This guy is loaded for bear. And I think it's because on Friday, Jackson will be updating the text inbox names for the first week.
He enjoys
of the
that.
month.
It's just a fun part of the gig.
Yeah, Jackson, if you wouldn't mind stopping by after the show today, we've noticed you haven't been updating the names as quickly as we'd like around here. Part of your job description, son.
Is the clerical work?
Yes.
Yeah, I get it.
No, you speak in the drops. I enjoy that, boy.
Thanks.
I mean, welcome back to the mic, but...
No, I'm not sure. Anybody in my toilet?
Doug, the listeners have requests. Sometimes people such as Larry Nickel will deny those requests. Healthcare Evolution sponsor the 7 o'clock hour here on the morning after, and you are welcome to get involved. Text in, call in, talk it over on the TMA STL YouTube channel. And the Huntley Hot Wife Hunter has this observation, Doug, that he would like to tend to. Good morning, fellas. Can we at least talk a little bit about Jordan Walker striking out a ridiculous amount of times and heading straight back into the toilet? Maybe we could bring somebody up from the minors. What's the timeline on Lars Nootbaar, Doug? I think it's May 24th on Lars Nootbaar. I was at the game on, was it Sattersbeen?
I don't know what game you went to.
A lot of Mariners fans. What was that about? But tip of the cap coming in from the Pacific Northwest. Guess when you have an opportunity to come here and the Doggies are playing later that night.
Of all teams you wouldn't think would have a significant fan base in St. Louis, that would be
They
at the
were
top
present.
Of the list.
Jordan Walker has gone from leading to what I think may be Chairman Kurt's most brilliant work, summer of '98. Doug, he hasn't hit a home run, and now he enjoys striking out quite a bit.
Yeah.
The Jordan Walker splits over the last 7 days, in which things have gone from looking like a 12th world championship to fighting for the cellar. He had 17 at-bats over the last week, and he struck out in 8 of them. 0 home runs. Hello again, everybody.
Well, I have long maintained that most hitters are streak hitters. Guys get hot, and they feel like they can hit anybody, any pitch they throw up there. And then they lose it a little bit, and they struggle for a while. So this could just be part of the normal ebb and flow of a season.
But the song came out The home runs went away. No offense, Kurt. I'm not blaming you at all.
Well, just don't press push is blaming him, Martin. He says KG ruined him. Do you feel like that you ruined Jordan Walker, Chairman?
It's possible.
See, Doug?
With expectations that were just too much for him?
It's hard to know, like, causation, correlation kind of thing, but he'll be all right.
Went to the game on Friday and was sitting there with Cousin John and Cousin Joe. We were watching and said, boy, they throw those sliders and he just can't lay off. Just can't. It's amazing that they even throw a fastball.
I couldn't agree with you more. I mean,
I guess you have to set up the slider, but it's amazing how we're watching. They go, here comes sliding, going to strike him out. Oh, no. Gosh.
You said that in the crowd?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Saw it from the pitcher's hand. Oh, no, don't swing, fella.
It does seem to get a lot of right-handed hitters. Remember, Randall Grichuk was certainly susceptible to that, too. They'd get him on that low and away pitch all the time.
The sad thing is, that was very winnable on Sunday. McGreevy gives you a winnable start. Palante was pretty good Friday.
Yeah.
Then you had 5 home runs. Oh, my God. Score all those runs, and you still out of all 3.
and that was against Wu?
Nothing to do. I love the cutaway of him, which home run was, I don't know, but he mouthed the words, no bleeping way. It's a great little gift. But 5 homers on Saturday. Tim, you enjoy the offense.
I took my 4-year-old down the old ball yard. Had a gentleman behind us, and I don't know, he just out of nowhere, we were sitting down there, and he said, what's your son's name? I told him my son's name, and we went and got a couple libations, and came back, and he was gone, and the gentleman comes back, he's just him and his wife, and he gets us a game-used ball to give to my son that I gather that the Cardinals, I guess Major League Baseball does this.
What's that?
And then it's like authenticated.
Oh, yeah.
And he gave it to him as a gesture, first game. It was his second game, but nonetheless, it was 4 years old, so obviously I hadn't gone to a lot. And he told me a story that it's a tradition when he sees somebody and it's their first game, that since he got a baseball at his first game in 1973, his grandpa caught one, I think off the bat of Lou Brock, he said, with one hand while holding his beer. It's become a family tradition. Huh. So how about that? How about that kind gesture?
Wasn't that nice?
Yeah.
Did your son appreciate it?
Yeah, you better believe it.
Great.
It's up in his on his bookshelf. Yeah. So it was super cool. It's a beautiful day. My goodness.
Yeah.
The weather was glorious after the rain on Friday in the morning. Incredible day on Friday afternoon and evening and Saturday and yesterday. Can't argue with that. But unfortunately, a sweep. So if you're taking a look at the Cardinals' statistics here over the last 7 days while all hell breaks loose, Doug, we've got some problems here. And perhaps when Lars Nootbaar comes back, which was the question from the Huntley Hot Wife Hunter in the Air Comfort Service text inbox, maybe you're going to see Nathan Church move to center field because Martin Youngry got himself one total base in the last 7 days and hit .067. He also is getting caught stealing, so that has been removed as a threat. Burleson has gone into the tank as well. 2 hits in his last 20 at-bats. The guy who I don't understand why he's on the team or why he plays, mainly because I thought this was a rebuild, Ramon Urias, 2 for 14. So JC, by the way, has only played in 3 games. He was 0 for 7. Nolan Gorman, 6 for 22. Jordan Walker, 3 for 17. And there is your Cardinal offense.
And Yoel
into problems.
Pozo, who we thought was on the team just as a big bat off the bench, he's 2 for 17 for the year.
He got 1 at bat in the last.
He's getting a lot of rest.
Yeah, they're building them up.
And you gave Walker and Burley that day off in Miami, Doug. I thought they'd be a little fresher right now.
Yeah, it didn't work, did it? So gave that game away and then lost the next 3 at home, too.
I'm sorry, guys. I turned this show on to get the news about the weather, not sports. Oh. Why else would you have 2 weather guys on from the 2 Fox and a 4 Fox? Doug, that's from Daddy Likey.
Watch out this afternoon. A lot of the schools are getting out early because they don't want them.
Big storms this afternoon, there, man.
Yeah, they don't want them. They don't want the kids getting let out at 3, 4 o'clock, middle of the day, middle of the afternoon, because apparently
What's going on? Just like a big threat of severe
I think
weather?
real severe weather is possible.
I see the wind forecast.
I think the Kansas City area yesterday even kind of tornadic activity coming across the state. So I think this afternoon is very much in play for severe weather.
Do you have a basement area at the Two Fox where you can retreat to?
We do not have a basement area. There's a hallway. They always say head to zone 3, and then we kind of Google what's zone 3. Charlie Marlowe always says just go to the vending machine. It's the best place to be. If
Why
you
is
get
that?
stuck, well, because
you
there's
get
the food, Doug.
Okay, all right.
Things just start collapsing, just take over the vending machine.
Yeah, well, you'd hate to have a vending machine fall on you.
That would be bad. Yeah, no basement there.
I could sell a lot of Doug Vaughn tornado helmets today, probably. I was going to go into that business. Just a little football helmet with a tornado on it. Protect yourself more.
So it was just a football helmet.
Pretty much.
But it looked cool because it had a tornado on it.
Right, and it was for a specific purpose. You go down in the basement, you retreat there, you put on your Doug Vaughn tornado helmet. Didn't seem to take off.
Oh, you guys are funny.
Okay.
Papers.
Suck it, Doug.
Well, you'd be much safer with a helmet on as you wait for the tornado to
And
pass.
you know why Edmonds weighed in? Because he is in the helmet business, football helmets.
That's correct, actually.
You don't want to hear Doug talking about his helmets.
No, who does your guy's vending machine, Marty? Would love to help you get a bigger boy. That's from Dada, Daddy Padre,
That's right.
who won the Stanley Cup 7 years ago and
He
now
didn't.
is looking to stock your vending machine at the Two Fox.
It's a natural escalation career-wise. But, yeah, I think Daddy Padre has been in the building before.
Doing the vending machine
Looking
stuff?
at the situation.
Oh, be darned.
Meeting
He's going to
with-
place a bid.
I believe that's actually what took place.
Oh, no way. Wow. Doug, why did you have him in?
I didn't see him.
Believe it or not, Doug, our vending area is no longer the old-fashioned machines.
Yeah.
Now it's a little more, it's not an honor system, but there's a little area where you cash out.
Right.
So slightly on an honor system. And Rich Gould always said he was just going to put on a little, the ski mask, and he was going to rob it and just go in there with a ski mask and just grab whatever he wanted and run out.
And he didn't think that they would recognize the body type or anything.
You can get involved. Text in, call in, talk it over in the TMASTL YouTube chat, and, of course, email in for our Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day coming your way in the Polos Plus dossier at 9:45. Email in the morning after at InsideSTL.com. Design Air is the sponsor of our email of the day online at DesignAirService.com. That's Seth Goldcamp and his team, and you can sign up for their service plan, which then takes it from any problem for you to worry about because they just come by and tend to it in the spring for your air conditioning, in the fall for your furnace, and now you're in business with Design Air Heating and Cooling. Sign up at DesignAirService.com. Doug's a client. Martin's a client. I'm a client. It's Design Air Heating and Cooling, the longest-running sponsor here on TMA. It is 7:18 in St. Louis. Time check brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. This is the Morning After, presented to you by Brown and Crouppen on 101 ESPN from the Stiefel Studios. Boy, doesn't this give you perspective?
Goosebumps.
Yeah, Billy Gilman. Mm-hmm. It's TMA 101 ESPN. Watch the show and talk it over with other TMA listeners in the Michelob Ultra YouTube chat. Program broadcast from the Stiefel Studios, Healthcare Evolution, the sponsor of the 7 o'clock hour. And we welcome you to call in. Let out some of your frustration. 314-974-0101. Collier and Thompson phone lines. Doug, a week ago, the Cardinals were in the midst of a winning streak. It was sunny. The forecast was for temperatures in the high 70s and low 80s, sunshine, and now it's rainy. The Cardinals have lost 5 of 6, coming off of a sweep at the hands of the Mariners. It's dark, it's cloudy, it's cold. The forecast has highs in the 50s. We're just getting skull pounded around here, and I'm not really enjoying it.
At least we're not the Mets.
Meet the Mets.
We lost a doubleheader yesterday to Colorado, scored 1 run in the 2 games combined to Colorado.
Colorado's pretty good.
They're in last place in their division.
All right.
They're playing better, though. They are playing better.
Yeah, a little bit better. Well, they're considerably better than they were last year. Yeah. But the Mets and the Phillies, both 9-19, tied for the cellar in the East.
The Mets have not fired their manager, but the Red Sox did over
Alex
the weekend.
Cora gone.
Players not happy. Wow. Pretty vocal, too. They said ownership and team lead, the front office, had a meeting, and they said the players were not allowed to ask any questions.
John Henry, the owner, did not talk, but he was present in the meeting. 7-minute meeting. Trevor Story vocal about it in particular, saying there needs to be more conversations about why this happened. So clearly the players did not blame Alex Cora. I get the sense that their general manager, Craig Breslow, is not a real popular guy in New England, and he has been terminating people left and right while he gets to keep his gig as the Red Sox flounder.
Yeah.
And they cleared house, too. They didn't just... The only guy that didn't lose his job completely was Jason Varitek, probably because you can't fire Jason Varitek, so he was reassigned. But everybody else on the staff gone, and they call up their minor league manager, Chad Tracy, former big leaguer, to take over there. Meanwhile, in the New York Post, Joel Sherman writes this morning that Mets manager Carlos Mendoza's seat could not be any hotter, and especially with Boston terminating Cora. The thought process in Queens is, how in the hell can this guy keep his job?
Yeah. It's a good question. I would think that he would be next in line to get the boot.
It does seem a little early. You're 20. If you're Boston, you're 28 games in. The only mindset would be, what? We're going to mix it up, change it up. You fire all those coaches that says this is not a good group of coaches. Well, you just had them in spring training a month and a half ago, and those were your guys that you picked. I feel like that's knee-jerk when it's 28 games.
Remember when Baltimore had that horrendous season? They lost like their first 20.
Cal Ripken Sr., 1988.
He started like 0-15. They canned his ass. His son's a Hall of Famer on the team. Doesn't matter. Dad, you're out.
And then Alex Cora and the coaches, they were fired. They posted a picture all out to dinner in Boston on Sunday night, having just a grand old time. They're all smiling. Looks like having a couple cocktails.
The magic of a buyout.
They're probably saying, joke's on you.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are a real downer for a Monday. Cardinals, tornadoes, vending machines falling on people, managers getting fired. Doug, that's from the Devil's Crotch.
Well, what do we have that's uplifting to talk about?
How about this? From 9-volt battery tester. The Battlehawks beat the undefeated Orlando Storm. Not undefeated anymore, are they, Doug?
Okay, no.
Where's your headlines now? That's from 9-volt battery tester. And 9-volt battery tester agrees with me that the Battlehawks should have been the lifetime roofing lead.
Cherry bomb, smoke bombs with your moms.
About that, does that change your mind?
Are 9-volt battery testers any different than regular battery testers?
Good question. 9-volt battery tester. Call in. Collier and Thompson phone lines, 314-974-0101.
It's just an odd name unless there's really something going on there.
That isn't a terrible question.
I didn't think it was.
This is exactly why baseball doesn't need a salary cap. The biggest payroll is in last place. That's from Eric in the Central West End.
It's also in first place.
What?
It's also in first with the Dodgers. Yankees are in first place. Braves have a high payroll. They're in first place.
Wilson Contreras, Sonny Gray got out of here, got to Boston, looking to contend. They're 11-17. Manager fired.
If you guys talk Battlehawks, I swear to God I will run into traffic. That's from Brian Henson. Now, he covers the Colts.
Yeah. So he's jealous of the
Get the
Battlehawks
sense.
and their success.
I get the sense. That's enough Battlehawks talk. Great recap. Let's keep it moving. It's Mize Rouse.
Keep it moving. Whenever a team is bad early in the season, among the LaRussa hits, I still think the one where he got mad about, you don't think so-and-so's going to hit? You don't think so-and-so's going to hit? Goes through the whole lineup. If he did that now, and they said to you, Doug, you don't think Walker's going to hit?
Yeah.
You don't think Scott's going to hit? You don't think Uriah's going to hit? And you would say, no.
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 It's the first week of the season.
No.
Well, when you run down the Cardinal lineup and say that.
That's what I'm saying. You look at that line. Friday night at the ball game, Tim was there on Saturday, even though they had a robust day at the plate. For the most part, you see these guys coming up like, probably not going to hit.
I don't know if he's going to hit.
Not going to hit.
Well, they need runway. You know what they need is runway.
It's the first week of the season.
There it is.
My grandson was baptized yesterday, and the godmother was a gal my wife blocked from hooking up with my youngest son at my oldest son's wedding.
I couldn't follow a lot of that.
Steve.
I couldn't follow a lot of it.
Okay, I'm going to read it again then.
Okay.
Hold on. Let's real slow.
My grandson was baptized yesterday.
Grandson. Okay, we're talking
Now, I just think that's there to throw you off. This is an SAT question.
Okay.
It's immaterial. The godmother was a gal my wife blocked from hooking up with my youngest son at my oldest son's wedding.
Okay.
So, Chairman Steve's son was at his brother's wedding, and he was getting ready to hook up with this girl, but his wife stepped in and said no. And it turns out they go to the baptism yesterday, and there she is as the godmother.
Oh.
Of the same son that was
have that
blocked.
info-
You know what I'm
I
saying?
don't have that
Now I'm a little confused, though.
And now
Which
Chairman Steve's going to have to call it.
And if his son went to his brother's wedding, wouldn't that also be Steve's son?
I think both my brothers are hot.
Okay, Charlie. And what
It's
are we
kinda
supposed
naughty.
to what are we supposed to do with that information?
It's a rainy day, Doug. Sometimes it's just good to workshop things.
But that stuff throws us off track sometimes.
We were talking about iced tea earlier.
There just is a lot to unpack there.
Papers is back.
I didn't go anywhere.
Well, you went to Drop City. It was great.
Drop City.
Welcome,
City.
Welcome back.
Tom Troller.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great.
Okay.
Yeah.
A little chilly in here yet again. Not to complain.
Yeah,
a lot of people have
It
crossed the bear.
keeps you awake.
There's that a lot of people cross the bear.
Yeah, ours is just that the studio is frigid.
Yeah, ain't that the truth?
But
it keeps you alert, I would say.
Doug sent out a text to the group at like 6 a.m. and said, hey, guess what, guys? I was there yesterday, and it seems fine now.
Now, that was in response because I put a phone reminder this morning, dress in layers, because
Thanks,
Friday
Dad.
it was uncomfortable, you know, and dress in layers. And then I texted you boys, hey, reminder. But then, Doug, you give tours here on the weekends?
Well, we were between soccer games at Chaminade, and my son said, I've never seen a radio station. I said, I guess we can get in. So I went real quick, showed him the studio, and it was fine.
Did you get a couple of reps in? Just practice some takes?
No,
some
I didn't.
teasing.
Just said,
Maybe at the mic.
this is what we said. That's it. That's all there was.
Yeah.
And it was fine.
Really? It was.
So I want to know what happened between 1 o'clock yesterday when you were doing what? You did 10 tours.
It's just one little quickie 10-minute thing.
You're like a page.
and then we get in here at 7 o'clock, and I would think that it's in the 40s. I think it's in the 40s. Yeah. So what was the temperature yesterday? You said, was it normal temperature?
It was so good I didn't even think about it. I didn't even think, boy, I wonder if it's going to be cold, if it's going to be hot. It was just normal. So normal was probably 70.
So, Jackson, what happened?
That's a great question.
Jackson.
It's a great question. When I got in here this morning, I was, based on Doug's text, I was kind of like, oh, I'm really excited to see what the studio is like. And then I walked in here, and I was like, oh, never mind.
Just as cold.
False alarm. It is still. Now, I
We
don't
need
know
to unionize here
Doug
and
got
get
us-
working conditions. Didn't they do
now
this
we're
like in the
talking.
1920s or something
now
like
we're
that?
talking.
There was a
Speaking
hobo
my
over in the
language.
corner over that garbage pail. Doug got us real good, though. I didn't see your text, Tim. I saw Doug's to say it was plenty nice. Then I went back and Tim was saying, hey, everybody, heads up.
Reminder.
Now, it doesn't feel as cold as it did maybe Friday, but it's still cold in here. But like I said, it does keep you alert. You know, when it's nice and warm, or especially early in the morning with this rain.
Yeah.
It might be easy just to snuggle up next to Doug and take a little nap. Well, just hypothetically.
The frost layer in the studio is only about half an inch.
Yeah, so it's cold.
I wonder if the HVAC system is set for a certain time of day when it kicks everything on, kicks on the air conditioners.
Yeah,
and
it could be the
whatever.
case.
And they turn it way down.
That would be
during
ideal
the
if
weekend
just
when
the
no one's
HVAC
here.
stopped in here. So if it was just the same temperature as it was outside, it'd be fine.
Yeah.
And we would have Seth and his great team of Design Air come in here, but it's under the purview of the ownership of the building. It's not even a Hubbard issue. It's a city center issue, to be fair.
I took my son to his first game yesterday and was glad he got to see the future with a Weatherholt bomb. But when Urias came up to bat, I had to tell him the Cardinals were electing to punt. That's from Carlos Spicy Wiener, Doug. He's a Hall of Famer.
Okay. Yes, he is.
I don't get the presents. I didn't get the signing. I don't understand. Update from down on the farm, though, might give you some encouragement. Joshua Baez has gone on a heater here as of late for the Memphis Redbirds. He is now up to 6 home runs after another one yesterday. And that Blaze Jordan just keeps a-raking. He just keeps a-raking. And he hit his 6th home run yesterday. Crooks sitting there with a 1,008 OPS. Speaking of that game on Saturday, I thought Pages might be, and I think the Cardinals did too, thought he might be out for a while. But they said he would be back. It looked like he had a hamstring injury, and I didn't know, Martin, if that would open the door for the Crooks Express up 55.
I heard Hein Bloom on the Mighty Mox Sunday morning saying, obviously, that's why they had Crooks sit out Saturday night. He did not play for Memphis. They were kind of ready to make that move, thinking that Pages was going on the injured list. And even though Crooks, he strikes out too much, he strikes out too much. What was the OPS, Tim? Because I think you could probably live with
1,008.
Okay, I'll live with the strikeouts.
He wouldn't be the only guy striking out a lot.
Correct. That's kind of what they all do anyway.
Baez is striking out a lot, too.
Doesn't matter, Doug.
But I think Baez is the guy they really think is going to be a difference-making type of player. I think he might
So
be.
next year we'll have
guy.
Crooks and Baez, and they'll get their runway if there's a season.
I guess. How much runway do you give the guys this year? How much more runway do you give Pages and Gorman and Scott and guys like that have had a couple years now, and Gorman 4? Do you wait another whole half a season or an entire season before you say, okay, let's go ahead and flip the switch on this?
Because at some point you want to see a lineup that's going to be encouraging for a year or two from now. Like, we can see like where it's building. That's what you're doing right now, building towards the future. But if these guys are not getting any better, the future's not that exciting.
Right.
Do you ever wipe a little too hard and your finger slips through the TP into your bin? Not bad, right? Well, now that I got your attention, needlepoint sale. Everything must go because papers are being finalized on my 7th divorce. Let's go. That's from the self-made stay-at-home Ladue mom.
7th divorce.
There's a needlepoint sale and she needs to move all the inventory?
And do we decide if she makes Battlehawks belts?
How much would you pay for a Battlehawk needlepoint
belt?
What's the going rate for that? I would probably wear one if it was reasonable. But they're not
You wouldn't
reasonable.
see a lot of them in the wild, I can tell you
No,
that.
they're like $150, aren't they?
They're handmade, yeah.
And is that big everywhere? Is it like a country club thing, or is it really a St. Louis thing?
That I can't speak to.
You did go to school on the Gulf Coast.
Didn't see many there.
Yeah, right.
But that might have been
You think it might be more like a Martha's Vineyard thing?
Yeah, I actually do.
Yeah.
I do think it is like a
Like the Kennedys are wearing them?
like a shorter khaki short, polo tucked in, needlepoint, and then deck shoes. That's kind of the look I'm imagining.
Very preppy.
Yeah.
Orson was wacko just texted in that he has a needlepoint Battlehawks belt.
I think
Really?
I think he has sent in a picture of that, in fact.
wow.
I Googled.
He got it from the self-made stay-at-home Ladue mom.
I Googled needlepoint belts, and one of the first thing coming up on the screen, St. Louis Cardinals life belt, dark navy.
Life belt?
It says life belt,
Like it should last you for life?
but it's a dark navy.
Like that.
Cardinal belt. Looks like it runs about $200.
Orson was wacko just sent in a picture of his Battlehawks needlepoint belt.
Boy, he
Doug.
did. That is nice. I need one of those.
What was that drop?
Orson was wacko sneezing.
Yeah.
I really like that belt he's got. Where do you suppose he got that?
I think he said his
Self-made
wife
state-owned
makes them.
Laduma.
No, didn't he say his wife makes them?
She's in the needlepoint, so she's in competition with the self-made
I
state-owned
honestly
Laduma?
think he said that. That her equipment, didn't he say her
Jackson
equipment was worth more than his golf gear or something? Remember?
Yeah.
There was something disclosed.
Caller Ellen says all needlepoint belts have a spot reserved for their high school logo, so I'm thinking the belts are a St. Louis thing. That's from caller Ellen.
Well, that could be.
I remember them being very popular in the Ladue area.
For sure.
With high schools. But then again, SEC tailgates, certainly at Mizzou, you would see the SEC needlepoint belt with all the teams on there, which I always found odd.
Did you have one of those at Ladue as an upper crust elitist?
Absolutely not.
No.
Sounds like you look down on them based on that response.
The SEC one I never understood. Like, that's such a...
I root for all the fellas.
Yeah, like, I can't imagine having a Tennessee logo on my person.
That's the deal breaker?
Yeah, amongst others.
I just want to get Doug a needlepoint thong. That's from Eric in the Central West End.
I'd wear the heck out of that.
That would chafe. Wouldn't you think? That material
A
is not...
needlepoint thong?
Yeah. You would need some sort of barrier.
Yeah, it'd be itchy.
Yeah.
Sure it would be.
There is no competition with me. Needlepoint belts do not go past a 36 waist, so I'm not sure why I'm marketing to your mouth-breathing audience. We only allow a little chunky. Doug, that's from the self-made stay-at-home Ladue mom. Her cutoff is a 36 waist. So she does not want a certain BMI to be wearing her needlepoint belts. That's a savvy move.
Yeah, but some guys will allow the boiler to go over the belt line.
Well, that's an old money thing.
And so your waist size wouldn't be that large. But if you were to try to cover up the gut, then yeah, you're talking into the 4 zeros.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
That's why the needlepoint stops at a certain size.
Because then you could be a 36 with some hangover.
Papers is not from Ladue. Stop saying it. It's from Olivet, home of the 2008 beige Camry.
Oh,
some penny candy.
It says that actually on the sign. This is another situation where you can't win because I say something and it's like, oh, look, Ladue boy. Well, and then you say another thing about being going to Ladue High School, and it's like, you're not even from there. You're from Olivet, you poor. It's like, I can't win.
Did you face that discrimination while you were in high school?
From people saying...
Yeah, oh, you're from Olivet, you're not really from Ladue?
Yeah, I wonder about that.
That did not go on whatsoever.
No.
Why didn't you go to Olivet Tech?
It would have been funny if it did. That would have been good comedy.
Self-made stay-at-home Ladue mom would like to issue a clarification now regarding her needlepoint business. Well, to be clear, I will marry much larger than a 36 waist, and I have plenty of times, but that is for financial purposes. That's from the self-made stay-at-home Ladue mom. So she doesn't sell needlepoint belts anything larger than a 36 waist, but she will marry much larger than a 36 waist.
Well, you know what I'm saying, don't you, Dad?
I'm sure she would want larger than a 36-inch wallet. If the wallet's big enough, it doesn't really matter what the guy looks like.
Warson Woods Wacko says, self-made stay-at-home Ladue mom. My wife would probably buy all of your needlepoint gear. So it sounds like there might be a
acquisition going on.
M&A right here in the Healthcare Evolution 7 o'clock hour. But that's always what this show moves markets.
Okay. How much gear is involved? Is there heavy equipment?
There's got to be a sewing machine type apparatus.
I saw Jackie Boy at the Doggies game, sans shirt on the Jumbotron. It was delicious. Doug, Lishy. That's from the president of the Notary Republic. You took your shirt off at the Doggies game on Saturday?
No, not true.
Were you at the Doggies game?
I was at the Doggies
game. No further
game.
questions, Your Honor.
Yeah, I was at the Doggies game.
Were you on the Jumbotron?
No,
topless.
Not that I know this. I was not topless. I did notice a couple of gentlemen that were topless at one point during the game, which I thought was...
These kids just having fun?
There were some kids topless, and there were some, what I thought was an older gentleman, maybe like 19 or 20 with his shirt off.
That's not an older gentleman.
Older gentleman?
Older than the children.
I was about to say, what, 70, 80? Like, okay.
No, older than... no. But
19 to 20
I was
older.
I was not topless.
But you had a thought on them doing it, saying they're too old for it?
I don't. Who am I to judge?
Did they have a needlepoint belt on it?
No.
No.
Did you wear city red?
Nope. Navy. City Navy.
What about
the proper color?
What about a Tina kid? Why didn't you support the gold kid?
I saw a couple Tina kids. It's crazy when you go to the Doggies game. pretty much every person there is in some sort of doggies apparel. Like there's almost nobody just in street clothes. Like everybody has purchased some apparel, which is
have a
great
good
for
crowd?
them.
Big crowd there?
Oh yeah, packed.
Pony.
Beautiful night for it.
Yeah,
Beautiful
perfect night.
stadium. Good for
Perfect
you.
night.
A
Yeah,
lot
it
of
was fun.
action, too. Took the lead, gave up the lead, lost late.
The energy in that place is very palpable. It's good stuff.
Shut up, Jackson! My God!
That's all the text says.
2-7.
Doug, that's all the text says. Shut up, Jackson. My God.
Leave us alone.
Excuse me, I'm putting out a cigarette here.
Oh,
What was the 217 telling you to why?
Read this dumbass text.
From the 217, I'm sorry. I need to know what triggered you.
Yeah, what was so upsetting?
What did he do?
You live in Warson Woods, bottom of the food chain. You don't buy me, you get bought, bitch. That's from the self-made stay-at-home Ladue mom, and she is offended that the Warson Woods wacko has offered to buy her out. So it was a Mo Green, Michael Corleone kind of
he just
encounter.
wants the gear. Thought maybe she had some spare gear. A second loom she wasn't using.
I wouldn't be seen dead in those lame pink city jerseys. That's from Eric in the Central West End. So he's not on board now. Doug, what are we on board with here?
I don't know.
Nobody likes
Celtics
anything.
had a nice win.
Yep.
But Tatum, a year later, he's back,
Plus
dominating
a year.
again. Yeah, it's amazing.
Lakers Celtics finals, Jackson.
I don't know if the Lake Show will get there. I think they're going to get past the Rockets, sitting at 3-1, but the whole way, we'll see.
Hey, boys, let's talk about the Chiefs draft. They kicked ass. It's from Ironhead.
How do we know? We don't know until they play.
Have you given out your grades yet?
No.
Okay. Yeah.
How about the guys who grade a draft the next day? If players haven't even had the first practice and they already know how it's going to go.
You taking a shot at Lenardi? Because if you are...
I read the other day that 30% of the players in the NFL were not drafted.
Really?
Yeah. There's that many free agents signed.
Diego Pavia, not drafted, but did sign a deal with the Ravens.
And Pat McAfee came out and said perhaps there'd be a different line of work for him than NFL football. He's suggesting that. I don't think anybody wants a knucklehead for a quarterback. You don't. You don't want knuckleheads pitching for you, and you don't want them as your quarterback.
He told John Gruden he wasn't going to have an agent represent him.
Makes perfect sense.
He doesn't want someone taking 5 to 10% of his earnings.
Of what earnings?
If you guys talk Chiefs, I'm driving into the Potomac. That's from Jugs in D.C. See, sometimes you'd see Mississippi, Missouri, River to Pear. In this particular case, Jugs is in D.C., so he's going straight into the Potomac.
You'd purposely drive into the river because a subject matter came up on the radio that you didn't want to hear about.
That'd be a tough investigation, too. Trying to
What
find the
happened there?
motive.
Reaching for the dial.
Michelob Ultra sponsor of the YouTube chat. It's on the TMA STL YouTube channel. Just open it up. 6,820 friends have subscribed. 259 are in there. And that is where we will be doing After the Morning After at 11 o'clock. Debut of that presentation today. It's youtube.com/TMASTL, Michelob Ultra sponsor of the YouTube chat. And I hope people got a chance to enjoy some libations this weekend. Michelob Ultra, 95 calories, 2.6 grams of carbohydrates. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. The conditions were indeed glorious. Unfortunately, the results in downtown St. Louis, anything but. It is 7:46 in St. Louis. Time check brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers. Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn, Martin Kilcoyne with you on the program. Jackson Burkett, who has been told to shut up, and we don't know why, is on the ones and twos. Chairman Kurt filtering your phone calls. Callier and Thompson, phone lines 314-974-0101. The program's called TMA. It's presented by Brown and Crouppen on 101 ESPN here in the Healthcare Evolution 7 o'clock hour.
This is Jackson with a SportsCenter update brought to you by Universal Windows Direct. Cardinals lose yesterday, swept over the weekend by the Mariners. Back in action today in Pittsburgh with a 5:40 p.m. pitch against the Pirates. Dustin May on the mound for the Redbirds. That was another SportsCenter update brought to you by Universal Windows Direct. You'll be saying, I love my windows.
Going in the World Series. How about that? It's TMA 101 ESPN. Healthcare Evolution, sponsor of the 7 o'clock hour, Healthcare Evolution, online at healthcare-evolution.com. And they have a special for TMA listeners this month. If you're dealing with shoulder pain, they can solve your problems. Go to healthcare-evolution.com and let them know you're a TMA listener. 10% off for your shoulder injury at Healthcare Evolution. I went out there a few months ago, and the slap tear that I had, Doug, that's a shoulder labrum and anterior porch light.
You were probably just pushing around way too much iron.
I think I was. I was throwing it up there. And that is gone. It's been 7 years, and it is gone, and they are able to do those tests and treat it same day at healthcare-evolution.com. Over the last few months since they started sponsoring the 7 o'clock hour, I've had more people email me or text me or DM me and say, can you connect me with Healthcare Evolution? It sounds like exactly what I need. I am happy to connect you with Logan Taylor. No waiting on appointments, no waiting on answers, and no insurance hassles for the month of April only. TMA listeners get a 10% discount on any shoulder problems. Common shoulder issues that Healthcare Evolution helps fix are rotator cuff partial tears, arthritis of the shoulder, and long-term wear and damage in the shoulder joint. It's Healthcare Evolution. They use ultrasounds, among other types of technology, to deliver real answers on the spot and deliver same-day pain relief. Don't forget, TMA listeners get 10% off all shoulder issues this month only. It's healthcare-evolution.com, healthcare-evolution.com. Now, I had been theorizing on this program the story that I think has owned much of April, Mike Vrabel, Diana Russini, that was a private investigator. I don't know if you guys had opined on that, but I know that is something that I had.
That unearthed the photos, you mean?
Yes, correct. But it turns out that is not the case, Jackson. We have a story from Awful announcing that there could be litigation for a couple that provided the photos to the New York Post. And by provided, they sold the photos. And at the time, they thought they were just taking a picture of Mike Vrabel, but it turns out that was not what was going on. So they can experience litigation on that.
Yeah, they sold the photos to the New York Post for a purported four-figure price.
Four?
That was correct, sir.
What is
really
it?
Hear four figures thrown around unless you're talking about what I pay people on the 18th hole.
Something 8, 9 grand.
Yeah. Why would that be illegal?
Why would that be illegal is the question Doug asked.
To take a picture of somebody and sell it. What makes that illegal?
Suddenly ask the lawyer.
I got you. Michael McCann of Sportico. Doug, he penned a column about the legal issues.
I like that.
Pen anything.
Specific to the photos, he wrote that legally speaking, they could constitute illegal invasions of Russini and Vrabel's privacy and the tort of intrusion upon seclusion, which is kind of a fun name, which generally means an offensive intrusion into one's privacy as well as harassment.
Okay. Well, people have taken pictures of me at games and things. Can I sue them?
Let me ask.
Is it just because they sold the pictures?
Again, ask the lawyer is now Jackson's new saying.
I mean, it's a really lousy thing to do to somebody.
Papers Esquire.
I don't understand
Papers Esquire.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
The illegality of it, I don't really follow.
McCann argues that Russini or Vrabel could sue the photographers or the resort, even if it's unlikely, given that both seem to want the story to go away. In doing so, it only draw more attention. However, given that the photos sparked a series of events, led to her resignation, irreparable damage, it's not out of the realm of possibility that Russini might want to exact some form of payback.
Don't want to be photographed making out? Don't make out in public. It's pretty simple. Some of the amateur proctologists.
I don't believe they were making out in any of the photos.
No, holding hands in one. And the ones in the bar, weren't they canoodling in another one?
It seemed like they were having a conversation.
Yeah.
Jackson, define canoodling for me.
Canoodling might be an arm around somebody.
Physical flirting.
I think of Leo DiCaprio in Titanic. Kind of that seems like canoodling.
Yeah.
So what's the new twist is they're finding out who actually took the pictures, but are either side pursuing legal?
Not at this moment, I do not believe.
Sheridan Clayton has just sent in a picture of Doug at a Blues game that I guess she took and said, "Don't sue me, Doug."
Oh, I see that. I'm not only going to sue her and her wealthy husband, I'm going to sue the Blues and the Enterprise Center.
Nice.
I mean, doesn't it seem ludicrous that you could sue somebody for taking your picture? If you're out in public, you're fair game, aren't you? To have your picture taken?
Yes.
I believe that you are.
I think the New York Post is like, what do you want? $5,000? 4 figures? Come on by.
Drawing someone naked is canoodling? That's from Dickie O from Cedar Hill. Doug, of course, Kate Winslet said, paint me like one of your French girls.
I was thinking more like the King of the World scene.
That was canoodling?
Yeah, I think if you're grasping somebody from behind while they exclaim loudly in the front of a ship, that seems like canoodling. It's different than necking, which would be more
kissing.
Yeah.
Jackson was spotted canoodling at a bar in the Central West End this weekend, sporting a clip-on man bun.
Oh, like detachable?
That's from the Hunchback of Vaughn Castle. They make those?
I'm sure they do. I bet you I could find them. Matter of fact, I'm going to source one right now. But no,
clip-on man bun?
That text was inaccurate.
Are you going to litigate against the Hunchback of Vaughn Castle now?
No, I'm not. Clip-on man bun.
That would be a thing. Why? Because you want to be super cool, but you just don't want to grow it out?
Yeah, or some people might have trouble growing it out.
Take a shot?
It definitely is a thing. It's like a
hold on.
Clip-on man bun?
I don't know if clip-on would be the right adjective, but there is something that you can use to kind of girth up the bun.
Girth up the bun.
Like an extension.
It's
like women have extensions, men have clip-on man buns.
Yeah, I guess it's in that family.
There's an article saying the clip-on man buns are trending.
Oh, what's happened to us?
The man bun sells for $10, and has 2 fine combs that attach to a man's hair along with a rubber drawstring. So I guess it's adjustable too. Yeah, it's a clip-on man bun.
So that's what you used this weekend?
No, not me personally, but I'm now seeing, clip-on instant man bun.
Guys, I'm a Papers fan, but he's making it sound very much like he's never canoodled in his life. That's from Ed Time, one of the brothers' Time. There's Stephen, there's Ed.
It is a fun word, canoodling.
Let me find
fun word.
Canoodling definition refers to kissing, cuddling, and fondling affectionately.
Oh, heavy petting, huh?
Yeah. Lighthearted, playful, public displays of affection.
It's got to be public.
I guess.
So it's a form of PDA, canoodling.
Yeah.
So like Oakville Prom.
Oakville Prom, it'd be heaps of canoodling.
Doug, photos are not allowed at Hedonism. That's from the Swing Haven board member.
Okay, but is that a legal thing, or is that just a resort, a hotel thing, where they say, don't take any pictures, but if you do, what are they going to do about it?
Now, Ray King just sent in a picture and says, my mistress and I canoodling, and Doug, it's you dressed up as Santa Claus with him. You were canoodling.
I thought I got rid of all those photos.
Festive canoodling, at that.
Canoodle me, Daddy. That's from Andy Pants. Attorney here, if you are in public and your photo is taken, there is no lawsuit against the photographer. Thank you. That's what they're in for, Jackson. So how do you explain this Sportico article?
I don't know.
You sent the link.
Well, anybody can sue anybody for anything. So
how about that?
Well, you kind of learn that in journalism when they say, we're the press, can we stand here and take this photo, this video? And the answer is yes, you can if you're in public property.
I believe what Mr. McCann of Sportico was saying was that they could, not saying that they are, but they could constitute illegal invasions of Russini and Vrabel's privacy and the tort of intrusion upon seclusion, which generally means an offensive intrusion to one's privacy as well as harassment. So maybe if they had seen the person, and this is purely speculating, if they had seen the person taking pictures, be like, hey, please stop taking pictures of us, and then they continue to take pictures of them, that might constitute harassment. I don't know. Yeah. I'm not a lawyer, despite Papers Esquire maybe becoming a thing.
Yeah.
A segment. That feels like a 9-1, 9-2.
Yeah.
Tell this loser attorney to be quiet. Nobody cares that you have money. That's from the Southside hash-slinging slasher. And he's mad that this gentleman is an attorney because he's deducing he has wealth.
Yeah, well, he probably does.
Didn't the Battlehawks get a nice win over the weekend? Enough of this canoodling talk, Doug. That's from Hottie Toddy. Yeah, great win.
Took down Anthony Beck.
Yeah. 4-0. That had to be personal.
It was 4-0 with the Orlando Storm. Battlehawks went up 25-0, Doug, and then hung on to win. They're on the road this week, guys. They're playing Thursday. Doug, you want to wager where the Battlehawks are playing Thursday night?
Thursday night UFL.
How about Washington?
They played the Defenders twice. It's a great guess.
Oh.
How about Louisville?
Oh, is that where they are?
Thursday night.
Okay.
You can make the trip. Papers, I just realized I peppered you with some audio. Was it all Friday, Saturday?
I hit him on Saturday night, and I knew he had a nice night setup thing. But I was like, I'm going to forget this clip.
It's fine.
I think that's the understanding. All right. But I still...
Yeah, whenever someone sends me audio, I know you guys aren't expecting me to like send back a paragraph summary of my thoughts on the clip.
No, I feel bad.
It's pretty good, though, this audio. I don't know what you said,
I'm a fan.
The Cold War between two of the United States' most prominent sports figures. I mean, when I'm talking Q rating, I feel confident if I said top 10 of the last 25 years as far as Q rating goes, was tended to by a St. Louis Cardinal Hall of Famer. We'll tell you who and how coming up next on the morning after. Yep, Doug, that's teasing camp. That's why I come in and do reps. You just come in and give tours. I come in and work on teasing on the weekends.
Okay, sorry.
You'll hear that next coming up here on the Polos Plus dossier as we close out our Healthcare Evolution 7 o'clock hour. This is the morning after 101 ESPN. Michael's Flooring's been family and locally owned now for more than 3 decades. Michael himself takes great pride in helping and making sure that his employees are happy and making a great living. You can go online right now and get 3 samples free from Proximity Mills. Just go to igotfloored.com. That's igotfloored.com. That's Michael's Flooring's website. And they have 3 easy-to-get-to locations in the St. Louis metropolitan area. They are in Creve Coeur, they're in Garden Prairie, and they are in St. Peters. There is a reason that Michael's Floorings continue to grow through the 31 years. Employees love working for him as they feel like family, and he makes sure they are taken care of. And this then rubs off to the families buying the product as they know they have the best interest of the buyers at heart. It's Michael's Flooring in Creve Coeur, in Garden Prairie, and in St. Peters. Come see why people are loving getting floored by Michael's Flooring and go to igotfloored.com. maybe Caps today. Yankees will have their maybe Caps.
No, it's the Yankees. Maybe if they play the Angels.
Yep.
Doug, I just deep teased that two of the most well-known sports figures in the United States of America. This is America. Jack Cleo McDowell coming to America, 1988. Have been engaged in a Cold War of sorts. They used to be friends, and why, as of late, they haven't even talked.
Really?
And a former St. Louis Cardinal, now a member of the St. Louis Cardinal Hall of Fame, wound up bringing the two together.
Did he?
Can you tell me who these two people are and who it was that brought them together?
I'm trying to think if it could be baseball people, and I wouldn't think it would be. Right?
I don't give off tells.
Oh.
I'm a sociopath.
Okay. I was going to say Shaq and LeBron.
Are they at odds?
No, but I'm just guessing here.
Former teammates.
Shaq and Kobe had a little bit of a riff,
They
right?
did, yeah.
They made amends long before his death.
Can I have initials, please?
MJ?
MJ.
Who could that be? Who could that be?
Mikhail Jurgensen?
Mike Jorgensen was a temporary manager.
Yeah.
I think more than once.
First baseman.
90 and 95. And CB. Fire up, CB, fire up.
CB. That's Kurt Brown.
That is Kurt Brown.
CB.
So Mikhail Jorgensen and Kurt Brown were sideways.
Charles Barkley.
Nice.
See, okay. And Michael Jordan are at odds.
Right.
About what? And now I got to guess the Cardinal?
That's our Cardinal Hall of Famer.
This is the hard one. The first one was the easy one.
Yeah. Initials, please.
VC.
VC. Vince Coleman.
Yes!
Okay.
Take a listen. Here's Charles Barkley talking.
Okay.
You and Michael have talked over the phone, and it was the best news that we had heard because we felt responsible. You and Michael planned to golf after the season that you guys talked recently last week. How did that come about? Who made the first call? How did you guys get back in contact?
You know, it's interesting. I was just chilling at the house last week, and one of my good friends is Vince Coleman, the great baseball player. And and I said some, you know, when we answer the phone, we said some unkind words to each other. I'm like, yo, mom, what, blah, blah. He says, yo, I'm down here at the Grove. I'm sick of you at MJ's BS. He's right here. Y'all need to talk. And we had a conversation. But Vince Coleman's the person who's responsible. We talked for a couple of minutes. Man, let's get together and play golf. And as soon as I get a break, I'm going to fly down there, and we're going to spend a couple of days playing golf.
With that. And all goes back to the Grove where Jackson lost his wallet.
Yeah. And you called there, and they asked Michael Jordan if he found it.
Yeah. Yeah. And they said, we're going to toss it outside the gates, and if you can find it, best of luck.
Vince Coleman answered in paper, said, don't worry about my wallet. If you could, bring these two legends back together.
Yeah. And then if you have time, it's a gray wallet. Picture of a pale gentleman on the license plate.
What was the show that he was on? Because the guy said
it was ESPN Chicago.
Okay, because the guy said we felt responsible.
ESPN Chicago, yeah.
So ESPN
Chicago did an interview or a call?
Well, the host said we felt kind of responsible for this, so it must have been on their show where some comments were made.
Well, he was critical of Jordan as an owner in Charlotte, right, Papers? That's where this all stems from.
So I'm guessing he must have said it on that show.
Yeah.
Right. And in fairness, he had the right to be critical.
And Vince Coleman, who has lived, I think, in the Phoenix area for a long time. There was always golf between Roy Green, Vince Coleman, Charles Barkley.
I got you right here, actually. It was a 2012 interview on ESPN Chicago.
What happened there, Papers? What happened?
Simon Freeman began in 2012 in Barkley. In an interview on ESPN Chicago radio, was critical of Jordan's performance as the owner of the then Charlotte Bobcats, implying the Chicago Bulls great hadn't hired enough people who had the courage to disagree with his decisions on how to handle the franchise. So he's basically saying, you hire a bunch of yes men.
Well, Kurt has a take on this, not the chairman, but Kurt with a C is on the Collier and Thompson phone lines. Good morning, Kurt.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Hello, Kurt.
Well, it's a kind of a dreary Monday. Everybody's kind of negative. I don't like it. I wanted to hop on And I wanted to praise Jackson for Friday's show. He had several lines that had me busting out laughing. That line about Junior's first needlepoint belt, and then throwing some shade at gamers for their elastic waistbands. Thought that was hilarious. Jackson's such a great part of the show. I really appreciate his humor.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And then I also wanted to say I'm excited for after TMA. I figure after I listen to all 4 hours of this and then an hour of that show, and then I'm actually going back and listening to shows from 2012.
Oh, yeah, Doug, you do that. You're on 2013, though.
Happening.
What?
Why would you do why would you do this?
What do you mean?
Well, go back and listen to shows from 2012.
I like the show. I like to go back and re-listen.
Okay. Well, thank
it's
you.
a good show.
Yeah, it does.
Right. So it pretty much takes up your whole day.
It's what I basically listen to you guys all 8-9 hours of my workday. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Have you heard the Sinbad interview?
Oh gosh, yeah. Yeah, of course.
What are you doing at work that allows you this kind of time to listen?
I have a lot of not downtime, alone time. So I've constantly got my AirPods in, and it helps pass the work day. Last night while I was cooking supper, I went back and I was doing my 2012 re-listens. So,
have you asked Papers to meet you at the Kevin Kline swimming pool?
Beg your pardon?
It was a DTF TMA thought.
No, I haven't. No.
I think this Kurt's got blue feet.
Well, it's a very nice little pleasant phone call.
It is, Doug.
Thank you, Kurt.
Well, you're welcome. And hey, like I said, I'm gonna listen to you guys for the next. Let's see here, 8 hours, I guess.
Oh, yeah. Well, aim high.
I look forward to it.
Have you
guys have a good day.
Okay, I was going to ask about your fandom of Papers, which we all are. You seem to be in the. Are you going to run for leader of the Jackson fan club?
If some people want to get that established, I would be happy to to lead that fan club.
Well, that's on you. Get it going. You seem to have all kinds of time.
I really don't. I don't. It seems like I do. I don't.
Right. He doesn't. But is this Kurt who called in with the kids in the car the one time?
Oh, yeah, that's me. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for being a loyal listener, Kurt.
Oh, you're welcome, and thank you guys for entertaining me.
How about that, Doug? Look at that, man. What a wonderful sentiment.
Mm-hmm. So the text line would probably support him because he seems to be a nice
No,
fella.
actually,
really?
No. It says, don't say supper, take a shower holding a toaster.
Oh.
That's from Big Tuft. Warsonwood's Wacko has decided on this gentleman's sexual preferences. Let's see.
Joke artist says simply, go to hell, Kurt.
There are theories that Jackson's paying this guy to call in.
Yeah, a plant. I saw someone in the YouTube chat, and I wish I could attribute to them, but they said this guy 100% has a doll collection.
A doll collection.
Like the Michelob Ultra YouTube chat decided that Kurt has a doll collection.
That seemed unfair.
Just because you're...
Put the bag down.
No. Got him. Oh.
Just because somebody's a fan of Jackson, that means the person has a doll collection. It doesn't feel like a fair...
I think he's bold, because it's saying such a thing, which I think people, maybe harbor. It's a bold thing to come on the radio and say. So anyone who's, casting aspersions,
and people that still use the word supper, is that a small town thing? Is that a country thing?
I thought you were going to like that. They said I was cooking supper.
It was like my parents' generation would say supper.
Yeah, it reminds me of someone like making stew over a campfire.
Ooh, like that.
But sometimes I think in small towns and in the deep South, maybe they still say supper.
Yeah, you don't?
I don't know.
That call felt like I was being gored by a bull. Some Dale and Gruffle got so vivid just for a phone call.
Well, that's what Larry Connors said when he got gored.
Got it.
By the taser.
Got it.
Well, they got him good, too.
Can after the morning after's phone lines be blocked from people who drive exclusively on I-55 or I-70? That's from Alan Dadeville. So we got to have a geocentric phone lines?
Right.
I don't think that technology is that sophisticated.
Alan Dadeville does not want those.
Somebody else believes this is totally Chairman Kurt.
Chairman Kurt is sitting there while the other Kurt is on. I have to strike that down. It is not accurate. You can email in for our Design Air Heating and Cooling email today, the morning after at InsideSTL.com, coming your way on the Polos Plus dossier at 9:45. Will Jeff Suppan be with us for a 9th straight show at 10 o'clock? What do you think?
I would bet yes.
I would bet
I haven't had any correspondence. Typically after the show, he'll say, how'd it go? What do you think?
He wants a review.
I ran into a couple people over the weekend. They said, we love that Suppan. And then they would all usually follow it up with, what's the deal? And I'm like, he was a guest. And then I think he jokingly said, catch you tomorrow. We're like, sounds good. And then he called in. We're like, oh, wow, he really meant it. And he said, I'm a man of my word.
Yeah.
And then it was eight straight days.
And now we're reuniting with former teammates. Got the phone call on Friday with Jason Simontachi. Brad Thompson's on this program on Thursdays. They got to reconnect this past Thursday. Who will be on today? Will Jeff Suppan be on? We will find out. That's usually around 10 o'clock in the Polos Plus dossier. The program's called TMA. It's presented to you by Brown and Crouppen, 101 ESPN, and the TMA STL YouTube channel.
Car has a couple of reminders for you, things that you can do to make sure that that air conditioner is running at its optimal efficiency and keeping your house comfortable. The number one thing you can do, change the air filter on a regular basis. It keeps the air in your house clean. It also keeps the air flowing through the machine better. Make sure that you do that. And if you need air filters, they've got air filters available for you at their website, classicaircare.com. You'll find it in the upper right-hand corner. It just says filters. Click on it. You can order it from there, and they'll make sure that it's delivered straight to your house, making it easy for you. The other thing you can do, book an appointment at classicaircare.com. It's a $79 maintenance check. Just make sure that the thing is ready to go before the summer heat hits there. Now, you know you're going to get great service. They've got a 4.8 Google rating for a reason, because they make customer service their number one priority. But they've got decades of knowledgeable experience working on any kind of machine. You know that you're going to have the thing ready to go, and they can get to you typically within 24 hours because they've got over 100 vans on the road. It's Classic Air Care. They've been making people comfortable since 1926.
Welcome back to Morning After 101 ESPN. Fisher Window and Door Store, 8 o'clock. Our Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn, Martin Kilcoyne with you on the program. Jackson Burkett, Chairman Kurt, and Chris Kerber joining us on the Callier and Thompson phone lines. Morning, Kerbs.
Morning, Tim. How are you?
Wonderful, sir. A couple of landmark moments over the weekend in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Colorado was able to escape a couple close games in Denver, and then they went on to sweep L.A. over the weekend out in Los Angeles, and we saw the end of Anze Kopitar's career. We saw Brady Tkachuk and the Senators go down in a sweep as well, which then, of course, gets the Brady Tkachuk conversation going again. So your thoughts on those two series that came to an end, and two of the highlight players that I mentioned as well?
Yeah, I don't think that the results of those series is really much of a surprise. And, Anze Kopitar, that was always just a fun player to watch. And, not dominant from, a flashy Connor McDavid kind of standpoint, but just, controlled games. And from the time he got into the league, really became one of my favorite players to watch game in, game out. So I was glad that we got to see him one more time when the Blues played the Kings that final time out in L.A. That's a heck of a career for an 11th overall pick. And, I talked to Dave Taylor, because Dave Taylor, who's part of the Blues management team, was the one that drafted Kopitar. And he said that when they talked to him, out of all the different draft interviews and players that Dave Taylor was a part of and drafted, he said he's the one that always stood out to him, because from the moment they talked to him the first time, they weren't interviewing a player. It felt like they were interviewing a coach. That's how he described Anze Kopitar. So that's a good one. And, the Brady Tkachuk stuff, this isn't going to go away. I mean, this is it. The reality is you still got a few years left on that deal. There's no need for Ottawa to do anything with it. The Senators have made the playoffs the last couple of years. Can they get more around them to increase that team so they could go maybe on a deeper run in the playoffs? And they kind of need Brady to be more of that all-around hockey player, rather than the pugilist, in my opinion. But I don't know what I don't see him extending his deal out there in Ottawa. And I don't have any inside dope on this, but I don't see him extending the deal, Tim. And at some point, Ottawa is just going to have to make a decision on what to do there. But I think the noise is just going to constantly stay around that topic.
Certainly, Blues fans all want him to come here. Is that just a pie-in-the-sky dream, or can you foresee any set of circumstances where something like that could happen?
No, I don't. Yeah, I don't think it's a pie-in-the-sky dream. I think, for a deal like that. I think they've got the assets. I think they've got some, the ability to put something together there. It's just, I just don't know how, you've got a couple years left on that. And that's you're talking about moving a franchise player. But, look at what happened with Matthew in the trade to Florida. Now that was when he had just, going into that 1 year left on his contract. So the term and stuff was a little bit different. But that's the kind of player that there would be a lot of teams in there. I would think the Blues would be part of that bunch, and how that would shake out, I would have no idea. But yeah, I don't think it's pie in the sky, in my opinion.
Now, had the Blues snuck in, and that was kind of the hope until the final week, it would have been a showdown with Colorado. And the Kings find out that can be a pretty quick exit. Yeah. I was surprised to look. The Lanch, 2 of the last 3 years, were bounced in the first round. So I guess, and granted, some years they were a first-place team, other years they were a third-place team. But I still think, even though the Kings and the Blues might have suffered a very similar fate, I guess you get in and just looking at Colorado's recent history, they don't always advance. They're not an automatic in the postseason.
Well, the first round is never really an automatic, right? Because it's can be such a gong show of adrenaline and energy. But there was just Colorado, is really the head of the class in the Western Conference all year long. And I was kind of looking at this morning, thinking about all the different commentators, Martin, that were, talking about how they hate the fact that it was Dallas playing the Wild and the NHL needs to change their format and all that stuff. Well, here in the first round so far, out of 8 playoff series, only 2 are tied at 2 games apiece. Montreal nearly made that one 3-1 on Tampa yesterday. So you've got 2 that ended in a sweep, 4 that are 3 games to 1 right now, and then the Tampa, Montreal, Minnesota, Dallas series that are 2-2. So, and then I looked at them. So I was thinking about that, looked at the standings, and you realize that if you just look at the league standings, the way it turned out, only 3 of the top 12 teams from a standings aspect are in the Western Conference this year. 9 of the top 12 finished in the East, and all 3 of those that finished in the top 12 in the West came from the Central Division. So that one to me is a lot less of a surprise of a sweep than most. But yeah, if you're LA, you're thinking you're going in there, you're hoping to upset them, but the 2 teams in my book just weren't even close.
And how about the fact the Kings have not won a playoff series since winning the Cup in 2014? They were a machine for 3 straight years, winning it twice, getting the conference finals. It was either Chicago or the Kings back to back to back. I didn't realize how drastic their drought is.
Well, and you know what? I saw something this morning, too, that surprised me. So Kopitar's amazing career, a 20-year career, only made it out of the first round 3 times. And those 3 times are the ones that you just mentioned. That's kind of amazing. Yeah, when they kind of hit the end there, and Dustin Brown was done, they kept Kopitar, they kept Doughty. They did a retool on the fly, and it's worked for them. They've gotten back into the playoffs. They also got a 2nd overall pick there in Quentin Byfield. But yeah, they haven't gotten it kind of going back the other way yet. So. Yeah, they're in less of a drought having made the playoffs. I think it was the problem for them was they ran into Edmonton for 4 straight years. So I think the Kings have made the playoffs 5 years in a row now. But the Edmonton Oilers eliminate them in the last 4, and then now the Colorado Avalanche. So getting back to the playoffs is one thing, becoming a playoff contender is another.
Do you notice, have you seen this year, just watching playoff hockey, does it seem a lot different than regular season hockey with guys diving in front of every slap shot that's heading towards their net?
It is. It's different. You've got the grind of the regular season, which is there, but then, the hockey culture really just kicks in. So you battle for every shift. You try to block every puck. It's just a different mentality in the playoffs with everything on the line, and that's kind of when the warrior aspect of hockey kicks in, and that's what makes it so good. It is. It's hard enough just to get out of the first round, much less win 3 more best-of-7 series. That's what makes it such a great challenge.
Kind of makes you appreciate it even more that the Blues got it done in 2019 to think just how hard it is.
You know, you look back in that series, Doug, and having the team having never won it before, it's a different thought process now when you've seen they've won it. And then, one, you can see how far away you are from that moment again, or two, what pieces that you're going to need, to kind of get back into that mix. It gives you a different appreciation, of now, especially when you kind of see the Blues go back into this retool. It gives you real appreciation for how that team was built, the characters on that team, the personalities on that team, and what it took to come together. And that's from Craig Berube and the coaching staff with Steve Ott and Mike Van Ryn and company, Dave Alexander, all the way down, to the players and everything involved. It is quite a process to get there, and really cool when you actually do.
Chris Kerber with us here on Mondays on 101 ESPN, giving us his thoughts on the Stanley Cup playoffs. Kerbs, we always appreciate the time. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, guys, have an awesome week.
You too. That's Chris Kerber with us on the Collier and Thompson phone lines here on 101 ESPN and on the TMA STL YouTube channel. Doug, could you tell us about Collier and Thompson, if you'd be so kind?
It's just where you go when you're serious about getting your home remodeled. Maybe it looks dated. You look around, you go, well, maybe we need to move, but, interest rates, it's not so easy. Well, Collier and Thompson can to fix all those worries for you. They can make your home look like a show place. The number one thing for a remodeling company is trust. You have to be able to trust that the work's going to be done right and that the communication is clear. You have to trust the process. Not so easy in the remodeling industry with so many people out there. Homeowners have many frustrations with communication and timelines, and sometimes people just showing up. You can avoid all of those frustrations when you work with Collier and Thompson. They check all of the trust boxes. They focus on thoughtful design, clear expectations, and building relationships. Collier and Thompson's going to listen to you, understand your ideas, know what you want. They provide a steady, informed, and thoughtful process. They're not going to rush it. They're going to do it right. They've been in business since the 1950s, rehabbing kitchens and bathrooms and basements and wine rooms, you name it. If it's in your house and you don't like it, Collier and Thompson can fix it so that you do. They got a very deep showroom, more than 10,000 square feet and more than 20 kitchen displays. You can go out there, take a little look-see around, get some great ideas on what you can do to your house and make it look just like you want it to look. Collier and Thompson is on Manchester Road in Manchester, next to Uncle Bill's Pancake House. Come on to quality online at collierandthompson.com.
You're welcome to text into the Air Comfort Service text inbox, 314-399-9646. Call into those Collier and Thompson phone lines, 314-974-0101. And, of course, you can talk it over with other TMA listeners in the Michelob Ultra YouTube chat, youtube.com/TMASTL. That is where you can subscribe and watch the program and talk it over with Too Fat to Kayak, Scorsese and Murphy, VR, along with Kitty Bates. The program's called The Morning After. It's presented by Brown and Crouppen. We are in the Fisher Window and Door Store, 8 o'clock hour here on 101 ESPN.
This is Jackson with the Sports Center update. That's brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Celtics defeat the 76ers yesterday, 128-96. Jason Tatum with 30 points, 7 rebounds, and 11 assists. The Celtics have a 3-1 series lead. That was another Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Daikin heating and air conditioning dealer.
It's TMA 101 ESPN. Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn, Martin Kilcoyne with you on the presentation. Little Jackie Papers is on the ones and twos, and Chairman Kurt filters phone calls and emails here on the program. Email in the morning after at InsideSTL.com for the Design Air Heating and Cooling email today. It's brought to you by Design Air. Martin, you got anything on Design Air Heating and Cooling with that Seth Goldcamp?
Oh, I do. We've been talking about our studio here. It's all about comfort. When you're in your home, you want to be comfortable. Cool in the summer, warm in the wintertime, and you can do that with Design Air Heating and Cooling for more than a century now, taking care of folks in St. Louis. Over the years, the technology has obviously evolved, and they have maintained the high standards there at Design Air. And when they meet with you in your home, they can explain it all if you're getting a full replacement like we did, or if you just need a repair. Awesome team comes in there. Great employees that Seth Goldcamp has. They're going to get the repair done, get things back up and running. We've heard stories from folks who've heard from other companies saying you need a full replacement. Design Air comes in and says, nope, it's a simple repair. That's what you can count on. Honesty. Great employees, just top to bottom. Everything's great about Design Air. And when you're in your home, you want to be comfortable year-round. It's designairservice.com.
It is the morning after at InsideSTL.com for our Design Air Heating and Cooling email today, coming your way at 9:45. That is how you can get involved in this presentation. Cardinals getting swept over the weekend. Jackson was there on Saturday. I was there on Saturday. Martin, you were there on Friday. Doug, you were giving tours of the 101 studios on Sunday.
Just briefly.
Well, I mean, did I say anything that was inaccurate?
No.
Okay. All right. Here is Ali Marmol on the sweep this weekend.
All right, hit the lever pail.
It sucks that you don't win one of those. But when you look at each game individually, man, there's a lot of positives. And not just to sugarcoat it, but if you told me we're going to keep them to 3 runs in 2 of the games that we played against them with that lineup, I'd take our chances. And we did exactly that. The game yesterday, they had trouble keeping us in the park. We had trouble getting outs. It was just a back and forth that they ended up out executing. But overall, I thought we saw a lot of positives over that 3-game span. It just stinks not to be able to take one.
Doug, they were there for the taking. Josh Naylor, did he pimp that home run?
I didn't see that. Did he pimp?
He tends to pimp in his free time.
Really?
He likes to taunt pitchers when he's on second base by acting like he's sending signals to the hitter.
Oh, gosh. I kind of like that.
I have to tell you, I enjoy it as well. And then the pitcher yells at him. This happened in Arizona. And then he got a base hit in the next at-bat. Just tilting the pitcher even more. The Mariners are a damn good team. They're off to a really, relative to their expectations, I think they were picked second behind the Yankees to win the American League, if memory serves, as far as shortest odds go, but hadn't gotten it going. But yes, he is correct in that all 3 games were there for the Cardinals. But, you know, hey, got to get them, and they did not. And all of them were there late. That was the first baseball game this year on Saturday in which a run was scored in every inning. Fun fact for no one to tell.
Oh, really? That's a nice little fact.
Who would have thought it would take place in St. Louis? When I saw them bring out or having O'Brien get loose in the 8th, and I'm like, ooh, we're going to go the Ryan Helsley famous 4-out save route. This could be problematic because they're just going to, these guys, their arms are just going to fall off. O'Brien threw so many pitches on Saturday. He wasn't available on Sunday. Romero was back out there yesterday. Call strike 3, ABS review, not even remotely close
tough
on Reese Snyder.
Review. Just a tough ABS review.
I mean, that was like a full foot off.
Yeah,
and then Reese Snyder goes yard, and the Mariners win that one 3-2. O'Brien not available. Here is O'Brien following his rough outing.
I think if you execute your pitches and, stick to your strengths, you'll be all right. But, I think it was just kind of one of those games.
Riley Helsley, just talk about in this job, you're either the hero or the GOAT. There's no in between. How do you stay even keeled with this job? You know, there's going to be highs, there's going to be lows.
For sure. I think, probably now I'm going to take a little bit of time, just kind of try to not think about the game for a little bit, and then tomorrow morning I'm going to watch the game, go over it again, and then be ready to go. I think take what I can from it. Don't stew too long. Don't overthink it. Just take what I can from it and move on and use it for the next outing.
You know, another guy we don't talk a lot about, but you're wanting to see him kind of emerge as the top of the rotation guy, Matthew Libator. Can be good, but I don't think you've gotten to a point now where you feel like, okay, there's your ace. There's your game one starter. No, and that's, you know, you're 5-6 years into this now. I would love to see him, and he had a rough outing. I guess that's an understatement. On Saturday, 3 home runs given up. Maybe the ball was flying that day because everybody homered. But
boy, Julio Rodriguez's first home run he hit.
How do you do?
Blasted.
How do you do?
I mean, it's sometimes you have like question, like Nathan Church's home runs, both of them on Saturday. I did not believe we're going to get out, and they kind of carried. Julio Rodriguez, as soon as you heard the contact, you're like, yeah, that's flying, and it ended up in Big Mac Lane.
Wait a minute, both you fellows, did you know you were both there at the ball game on Saturday? How about that?
Jackson's not, at least in his job description, an on-air talent, so if somebody's not on air, I don't talk to them.
Right.
I can see that.
If I did see him, it would just be like, just keep
Head down.
moving.
You can't be seen just talking to anyone.
I have the Steve Harvey rules.
Now, what are those?
Steve Harvey rules. Doug, do you remember that story where he...
Yeah, if he was walking in the hall, you weren't supposed to talk to him, say hi or anything.
What?
Yep.
His shocking memo to the staff.
Was this at Family Feud, or was this his radio show or one of his many outlets?
Yeah, he is diversified.
Memo that was sent from Harvey to his staff surface. This is per Variety. Do not come to my dressing room unless invited. Do not approach me while I'm in the makeup chair unless I ask to speak with you directly. Do not take offense to the new way of doing business. It's for the good of my personal life and enjoyment.
Yeah. So I just cut and paste that and sent it out.
Yeah.
Wow. Can you imagine just the balls it takes to hit send and letting everybody, and in his world, that might be 50, 60 people in a building or in a whole department that are being told. Now, maybe there's one guy who just doesn't get it, and he's like, listen, I'm going to put this email out. It's just so Fred stops bothering him.
Yeah, do not open my dressing room door. If you open my door, expect to be removed.
I like that. Remove.
You may
Not asked to leave. Remove.
You must schedule an appointment. I have been taken advantage of by my lenient policy in the past. This ends now. No more. Do not approach me while I'm in the makeup chair. Seeking more free time for me throughout the day. Do not wait in any hallway to speak to me. I hate being ambushed.
Wow. I mean, I just want a cigarette. Jesus.
If you're reading this, yes, I mean you. Everyone, do not take offense to the new way of doing business.
If you're reading this, I mean you.
Yeah.
You suppose he has a building full of people who just can't wait to talk to Steve?
That's what I imagine.
Let's talk to
There's
him.
probably so many people on the crew, and like, you know, they're brothers in town, and they really want to meet Steve Harvey.
That could be it too, yeah. Hey, my brother's here real quick.
Right.
Hey, remember that one time you screwed up the beauty contest winner? Yeah, okay, fine. Keep it moving. So Libator could be better, and now they're saying Hunter Dobbins will get the start. Thursday.
Pirates with a bullpen game tonight. Paul Skeens is sitting out there on Wednesday, Doug, if you're interested in...
Yeah, after that day off in Miami, you could look at the schedule and say, oh, it's getting serious now. We got Seattle. It used to be a trip to Pittsburgh was a vacation. That's not anymore. Then you got the Dodgers.
That's right.
Milwaukee.
That's right.
San Diego.
That's right.
The A's are, I think, a first-place team. And they don't have a day off until May 17th. So this could be the toughest stretch of schedule they face of the entire season. And so far, they're 0-3 in those games.
Still a great night.
Does that change your mind?
Not really. I'm just saying, unless they pick it up a little bit, they could get buried here in the next couple weeks.
How many members of the St. Louis Cardinals pitching rotation have an ERA under 4?
How many in the, did you say rotation?
That's right.
Oh.
Starting staff, I think.
Maybe
There are.
McGreevy.
You know how many bowl games there are? I mean, it is amazing how many there are now.
I'll say
1,
McGreevy's in.
2, 3.
I believe that's correct, Doug.
McGreevy is it. He has a 2.97.
Oh, yeah. He was
ERA.
terrific yesterday.
Yeah. Libator is now at 4.75. Leahy's at 5.63. Palante is at 4.26. May is at 5.84. However, with regard to trends. His last 3 starts have been good to outstanding, depending on your definition.
And I think the team is aware of this stretch, not as a barometer. I mean, expectations were so low going into this year. I did hear the Heimblum interview with Ackerman on Sunday, and Tom said something about, hey, you're in the middle of this 17. He said, well, I wouldn't say we're in the middle of it. We're just kind of getting going. Like, in other words, I think they're very aware.
Right.
Not just 17 straight, but the quality of the opponents. I think they're probably internally going, oh, God, let's just tread water.
Hey, Doug.
Yeah.
After this weekend, you still calling this ball club a contender? That's from Big Tuft.
Well, we may find out. Maybe not after the weekend, maybe a little early, but give it a couple weeks, we may know.
It's kind of the nature of the team, though. They had so many games where you, like, what is it, 5-0 and extras, have been so successful coming from behind that eventually that's got to balance out.
Listen, we've been lucky enough, all of us have covered the Cardinals over the run that began in 2000, and we have seen some incredible baseball teams. And haven't seen too many terrible ones, I realize. Recently we have, but I don't think it's a particularly bold statement to say, okay, this is just a really good team. But if you enjoy the process of a rebuild and seeing who can stick and who can get it going and who you go, okay, we're going to move on now, then you recognize what it is and, are at peace with it. You can look at the lineup and go, okay, it's just not there. Again, if there's one thing, and it's really a minor thing, I mean, my God, it'd take us back to doing the morning grind in 2004, Martin, when you're sitting there with that team, and 22 years later, number one, we'd even be doing this 22 years later, but number two, we'd be talking about, a utility middle infielder signed in March and why he's getting playing time. But that's the one part that I go, that doesn't really match up with the mission. I'm at peace with guys going out there, and if they flail around, they flail around. I just don't realize why Urias is not only playing as much, but also in the prominent spots in the lineup that he is. But in the whole scheme of things, it's relatively speaking irrelevant. I still don't know why, but nonetheless, he gets playing time. But the rest of it is just kind of part of the deal. And through it, you may discover that you have something in somebody such as Nathan Church. And you may discover that somebody that you thought you had something in, you don't have anything in. And so going into the season, that's just kind of the way that it is. It's fun to apply the standards that we have been lucky enough to have around here for the vast majority of the 21st century. I realize it hasn't been the case around here since 2022 to this team, but that would be, I think, pretty unfair. People are welcome to do it. That didn't happen in here. It's just not happening, and it's not even really remotely close to happening. So ideally, a handful of the guys that are on the 2026 team are a part of the building blocks for when the team is legitimately good again, whenever that time might come, ideally, sooner rather than later.
And that's definitely the question. Who are the building blocks? And by the end of this season, you're not going to hear with Gorman and Walker, well, let's just give them one more year. I think by the end of this season, it'll be definitive. Okay, this didn't work. We've tried it. There's a long runway. Maybe the same with Victor Scott. I do think you're going to get final clarity. I think a lot of us in our minds might say, all right, it's just not happening for this guy, that guy. But by the end of this year, I think they have to have some clarity on who the building blocks are. And maybe by then, maybe Baez is here, and maybe he's tearing it up. Maybe Crooks is playing by middle of the summer, and he's tearing it up. You're like, okay, that's the guy. But if you get to the end of the season, you don't have a few building blocks identified, that would be a waste of a season.
Sometimes it's hard to be patient with the players. Like, we think, well, we're a little bit more than a month into this season. We know who these guys are. And sometimes, it might take a whole season. It might take a couple of years before you really know who everybody is. Just look at Walker. There's people, we're ready to give up on him. And Church, I don't think anyone thought Church was going to be much of a threat 2 weeks ago, but now he looks like a legitimate player. It's hard to let things play out as long as they need to be absolutely sure who's going to be a player that they can build with.
Guys, when Newt is back, it's Church in center field. That's from the 618 for the record. He can come off the IL on May 24th. If he does, and if Church is still operating how he has really over the last, 10 days or so. I mean, the weekend was an outlier. And Scott is operating how he has for most of his time at the big leagues. I would imagine that, yes, Church goes to center field and Nootbaar is in left. Would you boys agree with that?
Yeah, I would think.
In addition to the fact they've said he's the best defensive outfielder they have by far. I think when they started talking that way, nobody really knew how good defensively Church is or can be. So I would think yes.
Another home run saving catch on Saturday.
Yeah, how about that?
That was sweet.
That was a damn good catch with 2. And then he had the chance in the bottom of the 9th. 1 on, tying run at the plate. Why can't he hit his 3rd home run, Doug? Well, no, that's a hard ground ball to Josh Naylor, and that'll wrap her on up.
Okay.
And I was surrounded by Mariners fans, and you would have thought it was...
You think that's Boeing related?
That's what I was thinking.
Maybe some people have been transplanted here from Seattle? Because the Mariner brand doesn't seem that strong outside of the Pacific Northwest.
Take away Papers NBA card. Not one mention of LeBron James historical weekend. That's from the stay-at-home Sajay Daddy.
Plenty more show to go.
Yeah.
Maybe that's coming up from the desk of Jack B.
Oh, Bill.
Bill.
Oh, Bill.
So how about the Pirates locking up Connor Griffin, their young star to be, in theory, right? Got $140 million before the season began and has done very little in his career other than be a hot prospect, has done very little this season. If you're the Cardinals in the Weatherholt camp, are you heating up that? Because at least early you've seen enough from Weatherholt to say, you know what, I think he's going to be a legit big leaguer. Whether he's a star or not, obviously a long way to go. But Connor Griffin locked up for $140 million. There were reports, multiple reports, that the Cardinals...
John Heyman was the leading voice.
Yeah, that the Cardinals and Weatherholt were talking. I would think that makes sense. I mean, if the Pirates can lock up a guy for $140 million, the Cardinals should probably try and get a guy like Weather. And I get it. It's a risk-reward thing. But I would say Weatherholt, if you're just around him at all, too, he seems more mature than a guy who just got to the big leagues. More that's going to handle this.
It seems risky to me. It's great for the player. For me, it seems a risky thing for the team. I mean, we all thought Nolan Gorman was going to be a star. Should they have given him 7 years and $150 million? Probably not.
I don't know. I don't remember, though. I don't know if
he came up with A&I first round
pick. A bunch of homers that second
yeah.
year.
I don't know. So much can happen in 4 or 5 years. Guys can get hurt and banged up and not be able to throw like they did before. Never really click in as a hitter. For a player, I think it would be fantastic to get that kind of money before
but I'll
you
bet
really
you
prove
anything,
yourself.
and I don't know it, but I bet you anything, his camp is turning down some stuff now and saying, "Oh, that's not the number we're looking for." When it's hard to believe you could turn down anything.
Yeah,
$100 million. We're gonna wait and see.
God, can you imagine living in Seattle and being forced to relocate to St. Louis? Woof. Doug, that's from Big Tuft.
Well, Seattle's kind of crazy. It's kind of a crazy town. It's a beautiful town, but got some crazy stuff.
Do you like when you can see Mount Rainier?
Yeah.
That's fun.
I've been there, and I was very impressed with Seattle when I was there.
Is that scary to see the mountain on the horizon?
I didn't do that with my hands. No, I was able to deal with it.
And they're getting the NBA back, seemingly.
Likely.
And they got the Kraken.
Yeah.
I'm trying to look up some of the earliest contract extensions in Major League history. Some pretty good names on that list. Evan Longoria, Corbin Carroll, Salvador Perez. Paul DeYoung got an extension at 124 days of service time.
Yeah.
Was it that quick? Wow.
Mm-hmm. And then there's some others where it's like, well, probably wish we had that one back. Tim Anderson.
Have the Pirates shown that they are a good example of an organization that makes smart decisions? I'm just saying. That's from the 3 and 4.
The answer
you like when somebody says, I am just saying?
No, I didn't like that part. But the answer is no. The Pirates have not made very many good decisions.
So the Pirates finally spend money, and now we're not. I agree. The Pirates are not the litmus test for making good decisions. It's Pirates. Papers was reading there the list too. In more recent years, Jackson Merrill, Corbin Carroll. It's become a thing in baseball, and I'm saying if you were going to do it, if it's a risk reward, which they talk about all the time, and they can afford it long term, Weatherholt might be that guy.
Yeah, he would be the guy on the current team. If you're going to do it at all, I would think he'd be the guy you'd do it with.
I just spent the last week in Seattle. I stayed a night in a cabin at Mount Rainier.
Did you?
Really enjoyed the trip and cheered on the birds to Cardinals gear in downtown Seattle.
He put on his Cardinal gear, went downtown and cheered them all.
That comes from Healthy Scratch.
When I was in Seattle, I thought, it's one of the high-tech capitals of the country. I saw homeless people with laptop computers in their hands. They were lying on the street looking into a laptop. I did see people pooping on the sidewalk, too. I saw that in Seattle.
Don't kink shame.
I don't think
While
that's
holding a computer?
No, this one did not have a computer.
Because would that be a recreational? By definition.
would.
Yeah, thank you. Seattle, of course, the site, Martin, where you, me, and Matt Weiner had
God, I don't remember this.
And Matt Weiner, when deciding what doors, said, trout's terrific, salmon sucks. That's how he remembers what fish he enjoys. Doug, that was Seattle, also known for hot scat play on sidewalks.
Hot. It wasn't hot at all. It was, oh, my God. And everyone else just kept walking like it was nothing.
Email in. Have you been to Seattle and worn Cardinal gear? The morning after at InsideSTL.com. Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling email today coming your way at approximately 9:45 here on our Polos Plus dossier. The morning after at InsideSTL.com. The show's presented by Brown & Crouppen online at GetBC.com, 314-222-2222. That's 314-222-2222. Brown & Crouppen, now 3 years running here, is sponsoring the morning after. They are local, founded in St. Louis in 1979. And if you are in need of an attorney, don't you want somebody who is local, who knows the local legal atmosphere? That's Brown & Crouppen, 314-222-2222, or go online at getbc.com. They come to you. If you are in an accident, everything is free, and they don't get paid unless you get paid. It's Brown & Crouppen, getbc.com, 314-222-2222. Remember, the choice of a lawyer is an important decision. It should not be based solely on advertisements. We are entering into the Mark Hanna Evergreen Wealth Strategies 9 o'clock hour here on the program. A former St. Louis Ram shouted out St. Louis, Doug, at the NFL draft.
Nice.
When he announced the Rams of Los Angeles' pick. We'll have that for you coming up. This is TMA 101 ESPN.
For 136 years now, Stifel has been a trusted name in finance, headquartered right here in downtown St. Louis since 1890. What does Stifel do? Pretty much everything money-related. Wealth management, yes. Checking through Stifel Bank, yep. You own a business? Well, they've got a full-service investment bank for that, too. Basically, if it involves finance, Stifel has a solution for you. With 12 offices across the St. Louis region, more than 400 nationwide, Stifel combines a local experience with national reach. Unlike many firms, Stifel isn't bank-owned. They own their own bank, and that independence allows them to focus on one thing, doing what's best for their clients. It's a philosophy that has made Stifel one of the fastest-growing wealth management firms in the world. Their tagline says it all, where success meets success. That's why partnering with TMA just makes sense. Stifel and TMA, where success meets success. Stifel Nicholas and Company Incorporated, member SIPC and NYSE.
Don't waste another minute on you crying. And this is Alan Thicke singing, right? Am I right on that? But was Joanna Kern singing with him? She played Maggie Seaver, and she was the newswoman. She liked the news. That doesn't sound like Joanna Kearns, does it?
It doesn't sound
Does it sound like Alan Thicke?
No.
But he sang different strokes, so why wouldn't he sing on Growing
I guess
Pains?
maybe he did. I don't know.
And that was Joe Cocker who did Wonder Years, am I right? Air Comfort Service text inbox, and then just open up the YouTube. Air Comfort Service text inbox, and then just open up the YouTube app, type TMASTL, and there we are, just sitting there talking it over, and now you're talking it over with the Nipper School Monitor, Dr. Xander Malanthrop, and the Walrus King. They're all in there, and they're talking it over, and it is delightful. The program's called The Morning After. We are in the Mark Hanna Evergreen Wealth Strategies 9 o'clock hour. Doug, the NFL draft. How much did you catch going back to Thursday night?
I saw a little bit of it Thursday, and I didn't watch any of it beyond that.
Jeremiah Love. You saw his name called.
I did.
I saw that as well. Did you see Tavon Austin come out?
I did not. I missed it.
The former Rams running back, kind of a lead back who would just go right up the gut.
I thought he was a wide receiver, a little playmaking wide receiver. Nope, turned out he was a bruising fullback type.
When it's third and a yard, you want someone who can plow through the line, Doug.
The man's my size, and he was going between.
Kornfeld would have cut him from the Rams.
Yes! But here he is. Doug, this guy still loves us here in St. Louis, even though it's been more than a decade.
All right.
Quarterback.
Oh, now you're on my team.
St. Louis, I still love y'all, St. Louis. With the 61st pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the LA Rams select Max Clare, tight end from Ohio State, baby.
That was kind of nice, though. Out of nowhere. Probably got sad. I'm sure Enos didn't enjoy it.
You don't think Steamer liked it?
No.
Well, matter of fact, when the NFL tweeted out, or I'm sorry, when the LA Rams tweeted out he was announcing the pick, they conveniently left out the front part.
Again, they just can't help it. They just can't.
Quarterback.
Oh, now you're on my team.
St. Louis, I still love y'all, St. Louis.
How about that?
Okay.
Was he here 3 years? 13, 14, 15, maybe?
Yeah, 3, I think.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Good for him. And the Ram folks ticked off the LA King fan base because they were all wearing Colorado Avalanche. Les Snead, front office on draft day. Was it Saturday maybe? They're all wearing the Colorado Avalanche gear to suck up to Enos. And LA fans like, our hockey team's in the playoffs, from LA playing that same team.
That's a real tone-deaf move.
I agree with you on that.
Yes.
I agree with you on that.
You just don't need to do it.
Okay, so our boss, okay, great. But we don't got to run around wearing the...
We live here. We're trying to endear ourselves to the people here. We don't exactly sell the building out with our fans anyway.
Doug, you're wrong. The Growing Pains song was sung by B.J. Thomas and Jennifer Warnes and Dusty Springfield.
It did sound more like B.J. Thomas, yeah.
And he would sing Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head?
That was one of his big hits. Hooked on a Feeling was another one.
Yeah.
That sounded more like
Did it
B.J.
sound
Thomas.
like Jennifer Warnes? I think it did.
Yeah, it did.
And she sang I've Had the Time of My Life. Dirty Dancing? Am I right on that?
I think so, yeah.
Did you catch Dusty Springfield in there, though?
Sorry, I didn't.
Yeah, it says featuring Dusty Springfield. As Long as We Got Each Other is the name of the song.
Okay.
And it was about Kirk Cameron and Boner?
Oh!
Character's name, sir.
Oh, okay.
Was the song written for the show and then it became a hit, or was it a hit song that they used on the show?
Kind of like the Greatest American Hero song.
Yeah, that was a great song.
Jackson, you ought to play that song.
Okay.
I bet you're not going to.
I will.
Now
What's
that
the
I got
theme
it
today, buddy?
There's no theme.
Okay.
They've been trying to endear themselves to L.A. for over a decade. If it hasn't happened by now, it never will. That's from the amateur proctologist.
Just seemed like an unnecessary move. You don't need to wear Colorado Avalanche gear.
Just leave it alone.
Go ahead and edit out the St. Louis part. We slayed the dragon. That's from Plowboy's Dwelling.
We sure did.
And they're still meeting about it at City Hall. The money. I think there was a meeting last week about the NFL. I'm like, are you kidding me?
It's almost like at the beginning they forgot they had it. oh, we should have been investing this money? Doggone it.
They did. After
Why
a
couldn't we
year,
get
they
someone-
realized. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I love it when Martin calls Demoff Smithers. It gets my nipples hard. Give it to me, baby. That's from Gus Chiggin's prospecting party.
He is Smithers. Mr. Burns, Enos, dead on. Money grubbing, evil boss. Suck up next to him, Smithers, Demoff. Just 100%.
You don't have the balls to answer whether or not you think Jeff Fisher should come back or not.
And then you guys probably immediately gave an answer whether you thought Jeff Fisher should come back or not.
Well, Rich, we encourage you to come down to Rams Park, okay?
Doug, you would encourage Mark Milton to come down anywhere, wouldn't you? Because he's a gentleman.
Well, certainly if you got tax problems, he's just a guy that you want to see. Well, he's a good guy to see anytime. But
He is a delight.
Yeah, he's a wonderful gentleman. But if you got tax issues, this is really the guy that you need in your corner. If you have years of unfiled tax returns or tax liens, bank levies, wage garnishments, that kind of thing, or even worse, you could be facing IRS criminal investigation. Well, that could be a real problem. But Mark Milton is experienced in just that thing. He started his legal career with the Department of Justice Tax Division in Washington, D.C., where he represented the IRS in tax cases around the country and received the DOJ's Outstanding Trial Attorney Award. Mark Milton and STLTaxLawyer.com provide a local and holistic approach to tax resolution. He helps individuals and small businesses solve any kind of tax problems that you might have. So if you have an IRS issue, a big one, a small one, whatever, Mark Milton is there for you to help take on the godforsaken tax man. He is at STLTaxLawyer.com. You'll be saying, I am not guilty. I am with Milty. Remember, the choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
9:15 in St. Louis. Time check brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn, Martin Kilcoyne with you on the program. Little Jackie Papers on the ones and twos. And if you want to call in and talk it over, you're welcome to do so by calling in the Collier and Thompson phone lines at 314-974-0101. This is The Morning After, presented to you by Brown and Crouppen on 101 ESPN. You go to VIP Auto Accessories, and they take care of everything. Online at VIPAutoaccessories.com. That's Tommy Cibulka and Brian Grigg. They have been doing it in St. Louis since 1979 with 60-plus employees. Commercial upfits, graphic solutions, hail repair and touch-up and aftermarket accessories. They've got it all at VIP Auto Accessories. I just had my car and the windows tinted at VIP Auto Accessories, and you get a lifetime warranty. Window tints are so helpful when it is hot out. Keeps your kids cool in the car. And hail repair with the storms coming through the St. Louis area today. Go to VIP Auto Accessories should you have to tend to that. For all your commercial vehicle upfit needs, ask for Tommy Cibulka. And for all your aftermarket vehicle accessory needs, ask for Brian Grigg and tell them that TMA sent you their way. It's VIP Auto Accessories, online at VIPAutoaccessories.com. Greatest American Hero?
Mm-hmm.
Even myself. 81, you think? 80,
I don't know
81?
the years, Tim.
Now, did this song become popular because of The Greatest American Hero, or did they use the song? That was Martin was asking about that with Growing Pains.
Like, what came first?
Right.
What's
Friends?
The story? What's the story on
song?
this Bill Catt from?
His name's Bill Catt?
William Catt. That was the actor who played the lead role. Right?
Yeah.
And he also sang this song, but he changed it into Bill for the song.
No, this was Joey. Somebody did the song. What was? It was
Joey Zanaboni, voice
It wasn't
of the
Joey
Doggies.
Zanaboni. Maybe I think it was kind of a one-hit wonder guy.
Joe Scarberry.
Yeah.
Joe Scarborough.
Yeah.
Morning Joe?
Morning Joe. And now...
Did Pelusi have a show before us called Morning Joe?
No, it was Mitch in the morning. He would call into it in Seattle.
While we were on the air.
on the air, correct.
Talking what? Soccer?
Anything. He just wanted Pacific Northwest exposure, which I think led to all the Mariners fans here this weekend.
Yeah.
Hey, Joe, is the guest ready? I'm sorry, I'm on with Mitch. Okay, makes sense.
It's a beautiful song. I think in 81 or 82, I was running around in my underoos on the south side to that, and I put a little cape on. Captain Save-A-Ho.
That's what your name was?
Yep, E40.
That was before or after the Thriller jacket?
Before.
Nice.
That laid the foundation for the Thriller jacket.
Yeah. So
Again, it was supposed to be a Beat It jacket, and had I worn a Beat It jacket, I think all the ladies would have loved it.
And that's the one with the zippers.
That's right.
The zippers one is cool.
Did the cosplaying end at the Beat It jacket?
I played a second baseman at St. Louis U High for a spring before I couldn't make the throw from second base, but most athletes can't. That's a long throw.
Yeah.
Jackson, that film Michael did a huge box office total this weekend.
Yeah. That was always going to be, it was always going to do big numbers at the box office.
Have you reviewed it on Movie Boy?
Have not yet.
Martin, is that show on hiatus still?
It's a brief hiatus.
Oh,
back this week?
This week, the plan is to come back.
Oh, the plan is to come back.
The read
The
there?
plan is to come back.
That's what Jim J. Bullock said about Too Close for Comfort. We never saw it again.
I am curious to see it.
Too Close for Comfort?
No. The Michael biopic. It's a big discrepancy between the critic score and the audience score. Critics, I believe, it's coming in at about 37% on Rotten Teas.
I think that movie would not only be so bad, I think it would infuriate me how bad it is. That's my feeling.
I would tend to agree. Audience scores are high, though, but it should be noted that it has happened before where maybe studios or PR teams might pack the audience scores with certain numbers to raise those numbers. So, yeah, but I always thought it was going to make a ton of money, especially it's like we're kind of in a movie desert at the moment.
Desert.
Not a lot of stuff coming out.
No.
So
what about the Hulk Hogan documentary?
Is that going to be coming out in theaters?
It's already out. Nice show prep.
Okay, I imagine that would be a streaming.
Netflix.
Okay, yeah. That would make sense. Yeah, theatrically.
So you don't think people would show up at the movie theater watch the Hulk Hogan documentary?
No, I do not, Tim. No, I do not. It's hard enough to get people out and about to the theater.
It's because nothing's on for adults.
What's that?
Because it feels like there's nothing on for adults.
Well, when
it's superhero stuff and cartoons and
right. Well,
dessert classic, the Fitzpatricks.
When stuff does come out that is usually original and for adults, it does pretty well. It's just they're few and far between.
I know
because it's better.
I guess the adult programming is on your TV now,
by and large. But they're still. I mean, the box office can get real healthy when it comes to more adult themes, but. The movie studios like stuff that's PG-13 or lower so that they can bring kids and families into it, and they like established fan bases. That's why you see a lot of sequels and franchises.
I can't tell you how many times we said, hey, we ought to go see a movie tonight, and we look and see what's out, and we go, I guess not.
Did COVID destroy the film experience, Jackson?
No, I mean, for a little bit, yeah, but then stuff like Top Gun, Maverick, and then the Barbenheimer craze of 2023 brought it all the way back. I mean...
Oh, you think it's all the way back?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, the Super Mario Galaxy movie, which I would never see even if you paid me, has made $2.5 billion this year.
Billion?
Yeah.
Just this year?
Yes. Worldwide.
Well, why don't we make one of those movies ourselves?
I'm
I guess
down.
we can. I don't know. I'm not scoring well from outside of 175 yards, though, so I think I'm going to focus on that for now.
What could be so fascinating about the Super Mario movie that it would do $2.3 billion in 1 year? What is it?
Giant established fan base, and it's easy to put kids in front of a movie screen for a couple hours and keep them silent.
Movie critics are the hey dudes of the media scene, just below AM talk radio shock jocks. That's from Heiser House Hooligan. Where is there an AM talk radio shock jock?
I don't know. We tried to do that ourselves there for a while. Didn't go over particularly well.
This is a boomer take, but almost nothing good has come out since COVID. That's from Jugs in D.C. Jackson, how do you feel about that take?
Majorly disagree.
Wow.
There's been a lot of stuff. But if you only go to the movie theater once or twice a year, then say nothing good comes out, I would say, well, how often are you going? How often are you looking at showtimes?
They're not going because there's nothing that interests them.
How would they know if they never see anything?
Did Jackson just say the Barbenheimer craze of 2023, or did I accidentally drop acid this morning? That's from the unknown DJ.
That's exactly what I said.
What was that? What's that?
When Barbie and Oppenheimer
were
came out on
both
the
out,
same
Doug.
day. They did huge numbers. It was a massive phenomenon.
Emily Blunt?
Emily Blunt was in Oppenheimer, yeah.
Ryan Gosling
was in Barbie.
And they introduced an award together.
Yes, and then the next year they were in a movie together called The Fall Guy.
How about that? Lee Majors.
I enjoyed them both.
Mm-hmm. Me too. It was great. It was a cool time. There was a real energy in the movie theater, which is rare.
A lot of parents enjoy taking their kids to movie theaters. It's one of the few indoor outings that are kid-friendly. It's from the amateur proctologist.
Yeah, well, I don't doubt that.
Old people and kids are a massive, massive audience for theater experiences.
But COVID did make you pause and think about what was normal behavior, like going to the theater. And then you wonder, God, I did sit next to random people pretty closely for a lot of
yeah, but
the more you thought about it's a little creepy.
With the new recliner seats that are everywhere,
that's changed
you do have a decent amount. I mean, a lot more space relatively than when you used to, when it was just a ton of smaller foldable chairs. So that does help, but it also, I think, deteriorates a little bit the experience where people feel like they're at their home, and so they talk throughout the movie, and that's really frustrating.
And you like to tell them, shh.
No, I hate shushing people, but sometimes...
Quiet. Quiet. Passive-aggressive.
It's tough.
A biopic on Doug Vaughn would clean up at the theaters, especially during his nudist days in the 80s on South Beach.
Yeah.
It's in the Heiser House Hooligan.
Yeah, those were the halcyon days for sure. I just couldn't keep clothes on, Tim.
Flip that off. I'd rather spend my valuable time listening to Tim than watching stupid movies in the theater. That's from 88 Keys Entertainment.
Can't blame him.
Jackson, I just finished the Avicii doc on the Netflix, and you look a lot like that DJ. So if this AM radio job falls apart, maybe try to do Avicii 2.0. That's from the Swing Haven board member.
Not every blonde, pale guy looks like me. Like, me and Avicii look nothing alike.
How do you spell that?
Avicii, A-V-I-C-I-I.
He's no longer with us,
Charlie
right?
Marlowe loved Avicii.
Oh, he loved him.
Passed away in 2018.
He looks a little like you.
Yes!
A little bit. Pale white guy.
Yeah, right.
And the beard is coming back, I noticed.
Yeah. V2 is coming in.
Okay.
What were the fans at the Doggy saying about that beard?
Oh, yeah. Rave reviews.
Get a clip-on man bun. Be a real man. Bun.
It was really cool at the Doggies game. Leuven's return to the home pitch after the passing of his wife. They had a giant flag with her name on it. Like the biggest flag in the stadium was with her name on it, and I thought that was really cool. There was
I saw that. That was really cool.
It was really good energy when he got on he came in like the 76th minute, and it was loud. It was really cool. I can imagine that it's been a tough couple of years for that family.
Jackson did the 1-2 punch. Cardinals and City SC.
Yeah, the STL double.
Running for mayor.
It was a perfect. I mean, you couldn't ask.
Glorious conditions.
Could not ask for a better day for it.
Did you walk from Bush to Entertainment Park?
No, there was a decent little gap there in between. But yeah, it was a perfect day for.
Martin's confused.
Well, it was a 7:30 kickoff.
So you left the area and then came back to the area?
Yeah.
Okay.
Went home.
Oh,
really?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, shower, change.
Oh, okay. I thought you
went
went
from
from
drinking booze.
Yeah.
No.
Bounce on up there.
Yeah.
No, not the case.
That's a mistake.
Yeah, probably. That would have been. There would have been an opportunity to do that like make the little move over and then walk over.
Cardinal game ended like around 4:30, I think, Doug.
Boy, the bottom of the 8th and 9th inning took forever. It took forever.
But the weather was so glorious.
Yeah, I didn't
I'm
really
sitting
care.
there with my 4-year-old. There wasn't a place in the world I'd rather been.
I was really
but I was surrounded by Mariners fans. I'm still confused by that.
I was really scared for a second when Jordan Walker had the easiest deal of his life and then decided not to slide.
What in the world? We got hit on the. I thought he was going to be out. Hit on the wrist. And then he stayed in the game. And then, I don't know what was going on with that stolen base.
I mean, he had it by a mile. If he slides, he's safe as hell. And I think he thought he could just stand up and then realized, nope, they're going to be a little closer than I thought. And so he half slid. And
that's when you get hurt. When you do that.
And then got hit on the leg with the tag. And I was like, oh my God.
Martin's right. That's a mistake. And this is why St. Louis is dying. It's from Jugs in D.C.
So me going home.
Big time mistake.
In between the Cardinal game and the City game is the reason for the city's decay.
When you do the sporting doubleheader, you kind of owe it to the town to get hammered on your way up the road. Like, stop off. Couple more, another stop off, and then
that way I can be topless for the game.
Yeah, you make a commitment not only to the sporting events but also to the city.
Yeah, that's on me.
Yeah,
that's on me. I'll be better.
76th minute. Are you high or you just paid no attention at the game? It's from Joey Vitale's Orange Scully.
When was it? I thought it was around the 72nd, 73rd minute. Matter of fact, I'll look it up, and if it's like 72, then that guy needs to kick rocks.
Oh. Doug, while Jackson looks that up, I have a feeling that you would like to talk about Schaefer Door Company.
Well, of course I would, even though I haven't had any problems with my garage door. And there's a reason for that, because I had Jason Gostrow and his people out to look at my garage door. It's been a couple years now. And when they fix it, it stays fixed. Schaefer Door, best in town. They service all kinds of garage doors for service and new installs with LiftMaster. LiftMaster garage door openers are strong, quiet, and they are versatile. And you know what they have that makes them a little different? That special Monday morning standby service for doors that break over the weekend. They also service commercial doors. If you run a business or warehouse with big, tall doors, Schaefer is experienced in those types of jobs as well. The business has multiple family members working there and have for years. They're big enough to handle any kind of job, small enough that you talk with an actual person when you give them a little jingle. Their service techs are not commission-based, so if you don't need a whole new garage door, they're not going to try to sell you that. They'll just give you a part, like they did for me. I just needed a strut, and the garage door has worked perfectly ever since. Thank you, Jason Gostrow. Schaefer Door's website is SCHAEFER1F in SchaeferDoor.com, or you can call and text 636-782-3608. Schaefer Door is a LiftMaster partner.
Okay, it was the 85th minute.
Wow.
Oh, gosh. I apologize.
What do we believe anymore?
Wow.
But if
Might be time to take a little time away. I wouldn't mind a notes apology on the Twitter tweets this afternoon. And Jackson will be apologizing to Joey Vitale's Orange Scully.
Was it the Brendan McSorley substitution that had you? Because he was the 76th minute.
Yeah, it could have been. I do remember, and I'll prove my little bit of soccer knowledge. Timo Werner scored for San Jose.
Oh, did he?
And back in the day on FIFA, he was an absolute cheat code because he was so fast. If you got the ball in his foot, he'd fly past everybody in FIFA, and it was awesome. So it was cool to see Timo Werner up close.
The Sockers are not real happy with the late substitutions in these games, saying we need to go a little earlier if we're going to get some late momentum. You know, you're bringing somebody in.
The goalie for San Jose was, despite giving up 2 goals, was really playing outstanding.
Little pitch breakdown.
Apology rejected. That's from Joey Vitale's Orange Scully, and it was sent with caps.
All right. Well, I know I don't have his blessing for the rest of the day.
Don't try to get specific. Just say late in the game.
You're right. That's good advice. I'm not classically trained.
Wait. Papers did a good old-fashioned twofer and went home between them? What in the actual F? Was he canoodling too hard with Citizen Pete during the ball game that he had to shower? That's from Heiser House Hooligan.
This is a weird hill to die on. Yeah. This is like a weird beef to create because I went home in between. I'm sorry.
Did you take a little nipper?
No nipper. Got home, showered.
Were you intoxicated from the Cardinal game?
No.
Had you had a libation?
I had a couple pops. But I'm not intoxicated by any means.
And were you with the same people at the Cardinal game as you were at the doggies?
Key question.
Martin.
Yeah, I think that's what's happening here.
No.
You go with one group, and then you kind of reset and you go with the other group.
Nice, Martin.
That's what it
Nice.
is. I understand now.
Yeah. No, I did not go. It was different folks.
What was it? The Cardinal game, shot home, 4-year-old falls asleep. Perfect time to stop by Carl's and pick it up. Now taking credit cards, by the way.
Oh,
now taking credit cards.
That's big.
Yeah, it is. And the price is different on the credit cards versus if you pay with cash.
Probably 3% more.
Aye.
Worth it, though.
4-year-old stays asleep in the car. Wife and 8-year-old up at that Peacemaker and Four Hands there in Kirkwood. Just sat up there and ponied up. Place is a pony.
Is it?
I mean, it's not like the pony that, my ponies used to be. Doug, this is
it's a suburban pony.
It's a suburban pony. That's right. This isn't the AVNs with Keisha Gray on my Christmas card pony era.
You sent that as a Christmas card?
Yeah, me and my wife, Keisha Gray. But we didn't have kids then, so it was different.
Right.
This is the Four Hands has kind of the back balcony.
Everyone who
area
got
there.
the Christmas card was fired up to see it.
Nothing
how
says
festive.
Christmas like the picture of a sex worker.
Put that off.
Oh, man. That's good stuff.
I love the summer of '98. But has Walker hit a home run since that song release?
Well,
that's from Sturge.
No, the TMA curse is real because after we had Dennis Gates on, he offered me a scholarship. The team absolutely torpedoed.
Yeah.
Who was going to beat Drake that year, though?
Right. I believe did they get worked over in their next game?
Yeah, Texas Tech flipped them.
Yeah.
I didn't want to say this, but Papers made out with my neighbor at the Doggies game. His name is Dale. It's from the Warson Woods Wacko.
Yeah. You got me.
Boy, that one stung.
Me and Dale. There was a guy dressed up as some sort of Voltron character.
Oh, Lord.
And I was taking a look at him.
Is that why you went home to change so you could
so I could put on my Voltron costume and another guy in the luchador mask.
Were you in a spot where you had to stand the whole game?
No, I was not in the supporter section. I was pretty good seats, yeah. Like right around midfield.
Great atmosphere.
Yeah, it's really cool. And again, just a beautiful evening for it. They got a ton of local restaurants working out there.
Tim, great choice. Always nice to grab a lobster roll and play the filler or no filler and fake or real game over there. That's from Carlos Spicy Wiener. You ever play filler or no filler, Doug?
No. I'm not even sure what that game is. You're looking at a woman to decide if she's had a filler or no filler? Is that what it is?
Carlos Spicy Wiener invented the game. Okay. He's the commissioner.
I like a little hardcore.
You do, like a dirty.
Oh, easy.
Kylie, oh.
Well, I imagine once you reach a certain age that a whole lot of women have had some fill work by this point, haven't they? Botox is pretty common.
You've had some filler.
I've not had the filler work yet.
But the BBL is coming.
Well, I hope. If I can save up enough money.
Do you think there's ever been a gentleman in his 60s to get a BBL?
Oh, if you can imagine it, it's happened.
It might violate the Hippocratic Oath.
I just wish I'd had it during my naked period in Miami.
The city fans, the biggest geeks around. Some Pele Blanco. Now, why does Pele Blanco say that? Did Pele Blanco call in? 314-974-0101.
Ollie Marmol was out there. He put the...
was John Jay, Descalso, and Ollie like the trio?
Yeah. And then I'm walking out.
What were they doing?
The game ball.
The game ball.
The man of the match.
Yeah. And then I'm walking out. I see our friend of the show, Polo Asensio, from the Cardinals Spanish language broadcast, walking past.
He texted me to tell me he had a sighting.
Oh, hell yeah.
Did you talk it over with him?
No, I did not.
And why is that?
It was like in the heavy crowd leaving the game, and if you're going upstream or downstream, there's like 100 people in front of you, 100 people behind you, and then right behind him I see Jose Fermin. Right behind him.
Well, the Cardinals are everywhere.
Yeah, I was like, in my head I was like, what does it say about the state of the Cardinals baseball where a outfielder for the Cardinals can just walk willy-nilly around a STL sporting event and no one stop him?
I bet the Cardinals guys didn't go home first between the Cardinal game and the
Probably
Sox
not.
game.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Probably not.
They were good soldiers.
Yeah, they also. I didn't have to talk to the media after going to the Cardinal game as a fan, even though I would have been open to that.
So you talked to Polo, or you just did like the Steve Harvey head nod?
I feel bad. It wasn't a snub.
He texted me. He was all excited he saw you.
Okay, I didn't. I loved talking to Polo every time I see him, But
apparently not.
Yeah,
Boy,
boy,
Mark's not going to play the audio back.
put my
Kurt will
foot
come
right
over
in
the
my
board.
mouth.
Every time except 2 nights ago.
Yeah, I didn't want to stop because again, upstream, downstream.
So you yelled, "Hey, what's up?" So he knew you were there. How did he know you were? Just by sight?
Yeah, I told you. I walked.
Were you
past
signing?
him. I was not.
So he
I didn't have
knows
any
what you
glossies
look
with
like.
me. What's up?
So he obviously knows what you look like.
I've met the man
Okay, so
upwards
there
of
were
10
no
times.
words exchanged. He
No,
just said,
and that's
"Who's the
my
dude
fault.
that
I
looks
should have
like
said, "What
Avicii?"
up, Polo?" But again, then I would have stopped the traffic.
Because that would have taken all of.
Yeah,
seems like a real
quarter of a
slight.
second,
and then for me,
maybe.
when it came by, I would have had to say what's
For
up
me,
to him.
like, hey, I'm sorry about Martin's big take about keeping Nelson Velasquez because he thought you should have been chipped out. Sorry about that.
You're the real number 15, Jose.
Supporter sections for dorks. Can't see any of the game because some walrus is waving a flag for 90 minutes. That's the problem?
Wouldn't that be annoying if the guy in front of you is waving a giant
No, but
flag?
you go in there knowing
Yes, they
that.
put a little. There's a sign in front of the supporter section that says like no opposing team gear in this section, and your view might be obstructed by flags. I'm wondering, do they take shifts? Because that would really tire your arms out if you were waving
Kind
a
of like
flag.
the Hawk with St. Joe's.
That guy doesn't have. He takes no shifts.
But if you're right
all
behind
day.
him, wouldn't you grab the flag and rip it to shreds by about, I don't know, midway through the first half?
There's no way it would completely impede because it's going back and forth. It wouldn't. The pitch is huge.
Josh Bob Bill, who of course shared a building with Keisha Gray in Tampa, texting in and says, Pele Blanco was my soccer coach back in the day, and he's 100% right that most City fans are dorks. Now, but I need to know the reasoning for this. And it's not about the guy waving a flag for 90 minutes, is it? Because that's not what Pele Blanco said. That was a different guy. That was the TMA Reddit insider.
I don't know about dorks, but I think it would be fair to say that a lot of American soccer fans have somewhat of a chip on their shoulder because of the popularity not being as high for soccer in America. So those who are really into it feel like they might have something to prove a little bit. I could see that. But
Eli Drinkwitz, something to prove.
Right. But calling them total dorks, I would not say that. Soccer's fun. But I get people have criticisms of the pacing of the game, lack of scoring. The refs getting to decide when the game ends and no one else gets to know is really weird. But what are you going to do?
Did you play soccer in high school, or were you too slow because of your fat ass?
Too slow. Too slow. Slower than I look. You might look at me and say, I could see Jackson have a little bit of giddy up. I do not. I have twisted femurs.
I didn't.
You didn't think I looked fast?
No.
Yeah, well, ditto.
Goodo.
Ditto. And
is Goodo short?
I said
for
ditto.
good on
I said
you?
ditto.
Oh, I thought you said Goodo.
No.
I'm like, that is a shortened version of good on you, and you don't have time to say good on you. You said
No,
Goodo.
I said ditto.
Oh, I thought you said Goodo.
No, ditto. No, I never played it. I played like when I was 6. And then said no, thank you.
Good morning. St. Louis City fans and St. Louis Battlehawk fans are the same thing. They're fake. It's not a real thing. Nobody cares. American soccer is garbage, and fake football is fake football. And by the way, I played Division I soccer, and I still think American soccer is garbage. Doug, that's from 88 Keys Entertainment. Man. This is what happens after a sweep at the hands of the Mariners.
Okay.
Everybody's mad.
How pissed, though, do you think Alan Craig is?
About that.
He's fine.
It's not fake. No. It's just, I've given this theory before, but we, in America, when you look at our 4 major sports, NHL, MLB, NBA, NFL, those are unquestioned the 4 best leagues in the world of those sports. There's no question. People come from all over the world to go play in those leagues. The MLS is not even in the top probably 6 or 7 of the best leagues in the world.
Bundesliga? Bundesliga 2?
Does it ever have a chance to get there? Can American teams ever spend enough money on the top players to make it one of the top
Maybe.
leagues?
Yeah, you never say never. And I certainly wouldn't count out, Americans' ability to spend aggressively.
Yeah.
But generally speaking, I think the long-standing traditions of your English Premier Leagues, La Liga, Bundesliga,
Second
Liga,
You start sounding like the drop.
those are probably going to maintain. And the opportunity to play in the Champions League, which is only in Europe, is also a big factor in that.
Jackson just said soccer is fun and then proceeded to list everything bad about soccer and why no one watches it. It's from Swinghaven
We
Board.
call that a concession. When you're having an argument, it's important to note that some of those things are factors, but you can still have a headline of soccer's fun.
Why, sure.
From Carlos Spicy Wiener. Is our auto insurance coverage comprehensive, i.e., does it cover hail damage?
You sent that to the text line?
If Carlos Spicy Wiener sends it in, he's a Hall of Famer. It gets read.
No, I get it.
It's the policy.
Then he said ignore. Meant to send that to my wife.
Too late.
Too late.
Hot off the press.
We used to get a lot of those where people would send like updates on the softball fields for the practice that night, and we just read them.
I saw Jackson trying to get into the supporters section wearing a messy kit. He had to take it off, showing those big, beefy nerps to Field Profit.
That's not accurate.
Not close to a top 6 league. That's from the 314.
I was being generous.
Okay.
I was being very
It's
generous.
about the 12th ranked league in the world. That's from Joey Vitale's
Really?
Orange Scully, who rejected your apology earlier.
Yes, I would say 10 to 12 is much more legitimate, but I was trying to be respectful.
Flags are crazy. I sit in the club section and the people are relatively normal, but when you stroll through the mezzanine, the people are somewhat nerdy. Why is this theme? What is this theme? Doug, what is nerd? What is a nerd?
I don't know. I'm with Jackson in thinking that soccer guys got a little bit of an inferiority complex and has got to go above and beyond to let you know that he knows everything about soccer. He's a little bit smarter than you, and he's going to try to show it by acting kind of crazy.
Yeah, that is the general theme of what I'm thinking with that.
But you enjoyed going to the game. Let's
Absolutely.
focus on that.
Absolutely. The energy in the building was awesome. It was a beautiful evening.
You had a twofer?
Yeah, well, twofer, high scoring affair. And even like before goals were going in, a lot of shots on net, forcing goalies to make big saves. It was really fun to watch.
Did you get free parking there?
No. God. No. That is a pricey parking situation.
Is it?
Yeah.
Like how much?
About 45.
Oh.
Yeah. I was thinking of you when
you shelled it out.
Paid it. I was like, oh man, Doug would be furious.
Yes,
it would ruin your night. There's
really
no way you could have fun for the rest of the night. But I got hooked up for the tickets, so more than happy.
Hey guys, I am Dale, and I can confirm I made out with Jackson. That's from the 423. So that
okay.
Yeah, great to corroborate
Hard for you to deny it now.
Yeah,
I can confirm the dork issue. My son-in-law has season tickets. That's from Starfish Street. It's like he's not happy with his son-in-law, wife, or his daughter's selection. I got the Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day coming up. Martin is rubbing his hands together so as to not freeze to death.
No, I think he's just excited
tomorrow. I'm revving up for email today.
I think I'm going to wear a ski mask the entire show tomorrow. I really do.
It's kind of like taking a cold plunge when you walk in here. It's good for the inflammation.
Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day coming up. It's TMA 101 ESPN.
This is Jackson with a Sports Center update brought to you by Universal Windows Direct. The Cardinals try to regroup following the sweep at home against Seattle this weekend as they head out to Pittsburgh. Tonight, 5:40 p.m. first pitch against the Pirates. Dustin May toeing the slab for the Redbirds. That was another Sports Center update brought to you by Universal Windows Direct. You'll be saying, I love my windows.
So good. So good, though, isn't it?
You almost forget that Urkel's name was Steve. I always say Urkel. It was Steve.
Was that Jaleel White?
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
He'd be good to get on.
Yeah, surprise guest.
Urkel do anything after that show?
I think he does HD2.
Oh, does he? HD2. Right?
Do you even need to do anything after something like that?
HD2?
Well, yes.
He does a little thing called After Family Matters.
He does.
Yeah, he's done some stuff. He had supporting roles in films such as Who Made the Potato Salad?
Well, that sounds like a good one.
He's 49.
You haven't seen Who's Made the Potato Salad?
Oh, no, I missed that.
But he reprised his role as Steve Urkel in the film Urkel Saves Santa, the movie.
Did you see that?
Missed that as well.
No, that must be a tough pill to swallow. Although if the money's right, I'd do. But I do.
Sometimes those actors who have such a distinctive, unusual role have a hard time shaking out of that.
Major way. Typecast.
Yeah.
Well, your thoughts on Steve Urkel? You are welcome to text in 314-399-9646. The Nipper School Monitor is talking to Scorzy and 297 other friends in the TMA STL YouTube channel. That's the Michelob Ultra YouTube chat. But right now, it's time for our Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day. There it is, right there. Ben Hogan takes a year off after a minor fender bender. Tim McKernan just came in for 4 hours with a level 4 storm threat. How about making a movie about him with Glenn Ford?
Glenn Ford? Wow.
He's been,
of all names to pull out of the past.
Been dead for 20 years.
Glenn Ford. He was a good actor, though.
Sure. 310 to Yuma.
And he wanted Glenn Ford to play the role of Tim?
I guess so. We've been compared. But this email is about naughty surprises. The sign looked like it was made rather hastily. Purple crayon, free drinks and studio tours from 10 to 10:20 today.
Wow. Tight window.
I was all in. As we entered the elevator, he gave me a tornado helmet and Dixie cup with my punch. He must have slipped me a Mickey because next thing I know, I'm waking up naked as it gets with my hands tied behind my back with a custom-made Battlehawks belt.
Okay. This is Kevin Miller.
No, it's Michael, and then the middle name is Mike, and then his last name is Hum.
Mike Hum? Well, he's new. It was Kevin Miller, wasn't it? He's the only one old enough to remember Glenn Ford.
Glenn Ford? I don't remember.
Morning, gentlemen. I have a proposal that will fulfill all of the fan base and members of the TMA team. We start our private NIL fund to boost our teams and acquire other sports. Our main source of income will be an OnlyFans-esque streaming of this program while operating in a hot yoga studio. Women and men alike will flock and shell out high dollar to view the sweaty backs of the man meat on this show. Then once our capital is easily secured, we can buy Brady Tkachuk, bring an NBA team for Jackson, buy a PJ for Tim to fly to Columbia, and lastly, buy bottomless beers for all the fans in the upper decks. You may say this is too cavalier and destined to fail, but they said the same thing to George Washington, the Wright brothers, and Adolphus Bush. Let's become titans of the private NIL fund. Cheers and have a great day. That's from Mongo.
Okay. Mongo.
Hello, gal pals. I was going to email in a week ago, but I wrecked my vehicle when Doug stated he would rather have Tage Thompson instead of a Stanley Cup. You would think a geriatric retiree would know better. Also, Tim, I think it's time to have a conversation with Libby Hairflop. The skeleton literally plays only Kevin Nealon or the 2022 Casting Ballots episodes. What's the 2022 Casting Ballots?
I don't know.
This email seems like it's in bad faith.
Yeah, it is.
What's
Needs to be
the
fact-checked.
22 Casting Ballot? I don't know what that means.
I couldn't tell you.
What's the Libby hair flop?
Maybe the end of the year TMA awards, the nominees.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
Yeah.
You play that all the time?
Right, whatever this guy
Well, let's
says.
just block him.
No, I'm curious to see where he goes with it.
Find a sack and ship him to Chicago with his other AOC brethren. And for Martin, I don't really appreciate that I had to go to only accounting for an old leathery man's cameos, all because you needed to, quote, retry radio. Anyways, thanks for the pink eye on my tour, Doug. That's from Iggy's crestfallen, almost senior accountant.
Iggy's crestfallen, almost senior accountant.
Fellas, Big Tech Del Vecchio here. Look, not that anyone asked me, and I certainly haven't been quietly submitting tapes for the last 18 months following up, but TMA rolling out an after show to bring back Iggy is the radio equivalent of Harpo's reopening at 2:15 a.m. so the guy who got kicked out at midnight can come back and explain his Facebook posts. And listen, that's a crowd. I've seen it. I've sold against it. Now, I'm just a guy who spent 46 years selling media in St. Louis, mostly in Boatman's Bank's parking lots. That's where Big Tank's office is?
Does that even exist anymore, Boatman's? Is that still around?
No, but the office
Just
is still
sign
there.
here. It's fine.
Occasionally from the passenger seat of a running Buick.
Like the Lincoln lawyer.
So what do I know about talent redevelopment or audience appetite for a redemption arc? But I did happen to notice a full year of Iggy treating Facebook like his own little personal burn book. Ranking casseroles, sharing podcasts he's, let's say, spiritually on retainer for. And offering the occasional drive-by political take like a man who's really carved out a niche in the comments section. And now we're supposed to believe he's re-entering the big leagues refreshed and housebroken. And look, if that's the model, I can pivot. Honestly, maybe he is. This market, small, mid, regional powerhouse, depending on who's buying lunch, loves a reset. I've seen it. It's like a Clayton wine bar date that confidently pivots to Bar 101. Same crowd, just brighter neon signs and looser ambitions. And I like what you're doing. You're not reinventing the wheel so much as suggesting, what if we grab one more drink at Napoli and told the same stories again, just with a little more mileage and a little less fact-checking? There's comfort in that. No surprises. And again, not everybody's looking to inject, say, a seasoned, highly available media professional who has a flexible schedule, his own transportation, and a real willingness to say yes to late-night inventory. But again, what do I know? I'm just a guy with a headset in the glove compartment, a demo reel updated quarterly, and a standing offer to slide in, keep it loose, and maybe, just maybe, pay my visa on time for once. Either way, good to have you back, old chum. Truly, no bitterness here, just admiration and availability. Doug, that's from Big Tank Del Vecchio. Click here to view my Calendly and schedule a demo.
Big Tank Del Vecchio.
Well, fellas, there are so many positives that come out of the day of rest for professional baseball athletes beyond the immediate 4-game losing streak, which will eventually help in September. Learning that 4-figure incomes are available to full-time needle pointers if you want to broadcast your high school or specify if you're on the east or west side of Hampton. The availability of the clip-on man bun as parties in the park are getting hot and steamy. Discovering that Jackson was being aggressively canoodled by Cletus during an unwanted putting demonstration. All this adds to my personal life and enjoyment. That's from Shooter McGavin, the vice president of Supper.
Shooter McGavin, vice president, Supper.
And finally, morning boys. Doug, what's your favorite brand for needlepoint boy shorts? I'm in the market and I'm willing to spare no expense. Additionally, do you lubricate your loins to help with the chafing, or do you just let your gams callus up? Thanks. That's Bobby Greenback. And that's what we have for the Design Air Heating and Cooling Email of the Day. We shall vote and announce the winner here in 50 minutes. Martin is headed to onboarding. We're headed into the 10 o'clock hour. The program is called TMA, presented by Brown and Crouppen on 101 ESPN.
Now it's 8 a.m. and I've got all day. Guess I'll check in with the boys. TMA. Now I'm on the air again. 5 days in a row. Haven't felt this alive since my days in the show. Got my old jersey framed on the wall. Hope the chairman answers when he sees me call. Line 3, you're on. Feel my temperature rise. Nothing like catching up with the guys again. I'm ready, I'm waiting. Tim, call me in. I feel like I'm 30 years old again. Although I've hung on my cleats, baby, my heart's still on that mound. Tell me, what do I do now? What do I do now? That the soup's gone
I thought we were going to man it up. I thought we were going to get a different like a Judas Priest version.
Judas
like
Priest.
Just jazz it up a
Sherman
bit.
Kirk just waved you off with that, I can tell you that. Doug, 9 straight shows.
Oh, great.
Jeff Suppan here on the Callier and Thompson phone lines on 101 ESPN. Morning, Soup.
Hey, good morning, guys. Hey, you know what? I was hoping for a little more masculine version of that song, but you know what? I take what I can get, I guess, at this point, since the soup's gone cold.
Doug, it's a beautiful melody.
It's a very emotional song.
Yeah.
It hits you right in the feels.
I mean, wow. I mean, what a writer, what a songwriter that Chairman Kurt is. I tell you. You know, but
he wrote it. But be careful, because he wrote a song about Jordan Walker and his home run barrage, and then since that, the poor kid has not hit a home run. So maybe the soup.
Well, you know
maybe
what?
Get warmer.
Hey, those things happen. You know what I mean? But it looks like I know they didn't finish well in Miami, but I mean they were close games, right?
Close, yeah, but lost all 3. Against Seattle.
Against Seattle this weekend, yeah. Lost 2 of 3 to the Marlins last week. So it's been 5 of 6, close games, a little rough. Beautiful weather, though, over the weekend here in St. Louis. And so all of us took in the game outside of Doug. Doug, some kind of boycott, I guess. Is that what's going on, Doug?
Well, I was just so busy. Pressed for time.
Yeah, you're too busy to go.
Yeah.
Well.
I was there Friday.
I hear you, Doug. I mean,
this show is anti-wave, but mostly because there's usually a Hoosier that forces the section to do the wave. Right. But Holden is 9, and here comes the wave, Doug, and he's like doing the wave. I'm like,
excited
okay,
about it, of
the
course.
kids, and I'm like, you know what? But I was wondering about players when you were pitching and or hitting. Did the wave ever start, and did you hate it?
I never hated the wave. No, I mean really back in the '80s when I was growing up. I mean, that was a big deal, man. I mean, so even as a player, I thought it was cool. I loved when the whole stadium would say, "Let's go." Let's go, and they would clap Cardinals. I just loved that when everyone cheered, man. It was just like everyone's pulling the rope. You know what I mean? We're all in it.
Yeah.
You know?
I just thought maybe as a pitcher it could be distracting. Not distracting as a pitcher?
Not at all. No. The only time people were distracting were like was like in Tampa, in the old stadium when there was 30, 40 people there, and you could hear the one guy, and it's almost like you step off the mound. You're like, dude, we're just trying to play a game here. I'm trying to pitch. Can you be normal? And they're just ragging. They're just ragging. I don't even know. They're not even ragging me. But I can hear their conversation. But when there's a lot of people there, you don't hear anything. You're just focused between the lines. You know what I mean? 60 feet, 6 inches, but.
In the bullpen warming up, you must have had guys yelling at you.
Oh, yeah, that was great.
You enjoyed that.
That was great. Yes. Oh, man. It was because you could actually talk to them for a second. You know what I mean? I'd always give the raggers 1 second. And my favorite line was, hey, dude, I remember my first beer, too.
That gets them.
And, yeah, I never went for the old, people used to say, what do they say? It was more of a rag of, hey, when you're picking up my trash this Friday, can you make sure you close the lid? They would, I never got like that. You know what I mean? But it was sometimes... No, never. It really never got in there. You're just getting ready for a game.
People ever unfriendly outside of the park? People that might recognize you as a member of another team?
When we used to leave Yankee Stadium, we on the bus, we would always put a little over-under on the middle fingers we would get. But typically, you know what? When it was like man to man or whatever, no. I mean, when you're looking somebody in the face, they don't say anything. You know what I mean? It's just when you're far off. You know what I mean? They'll talk a little smack. But no, really, I really never experienced that.
St. Louis's own Brian Dahlbach played for the Red Sox, the Belleville Bomber. He might have been there when you were there, around 03-ish, but he said
Oh, yeah. He was from Belleville?
Yeah. He's a local guy.
Oh, my gosh. I like that guy. He was a good hitter.
The Dogger.
I did not know that.
But he said
he was
that
after me.
At Fenway, they parked like right next to the stadium or something. He said, and sometimes the fans would kind of be parading by the cars and berating them after games.
As a Red Sox player?
Yeah.
Okay, I did have an experience. Okay, I did have two experiences as a rookie. Okay, and one was at Comiskey Park, and I was running, and somebody said, "What are they doing letting the bat boy run on the field?" And I actually took that as a compliment. I thought it was funny because I was only 20 years old, right? And then at Fenway, it was myself. It was 1995. Myself and Brian Barnes. Brian Barnes came up to the Atlanta Braves. He was a lefty. I was a righty, and we were warming up. Okay, and somebody goes, "What are they doing letting these bunch of no-names warm up?" And I actually thought it was funny.
It could be hurtful, though.
No, I mean, it's all in good fun, dude. You know what I mean? And you just got to, you just roll with it. It's just funny. But if you took it personally, you'd have problems.
The most obnoxious fan base.
Now the social media, I mean, they're worse.
Yeah, because you never see a face with it.
No.
Most obnoxious fan base, New York, Boston, or Philly. What's that?
Is it Doug?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, sure.
Caller.
Yeah. You said it was a busy weekend. I mean, can you imagine when you retire? So when you retire, you don't retire. You're always tired because you're so busy, right? So you had a busy weekend. Is that what you're telling me? And you missed the game?
Well, I just had other things to do. I wasn't particularly busy. Cut the grass one day. Went to a soccer game.
No.
So not terribly busy.
All right.
But you're right, I am tired.
That's accurate. That part's accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I texted Martin because I was going to be late today. I had my 3 small cups of coffee, and I was in line at McDonald's for my coffee, and it was, now that I've been on the show 9
straight shows.
Days,
that's right. 9 straight shows.
Yeah, I don't know who to call. I don't know who my boss is, and I was if you guys are I don't know how to ask it, but I was hoping for a day off.
Oh, wow. Already making a vacation request 9 shows in. Boy, I don't
6
know.
months before the vacation time kicks in.
No, I was just looking for a Wednesday, this Wednesday day off, and then if that was cool, then I was going to ask for a vacation.
Okay.
So you're going to take the day off on Wednesday and then put in a vacation request? Boy, I don't know, Doug. I can tell you're a little irritated.
I don't know who my boss is, so I'm just asking if it's possible.
Well, the answer to your question on who your boss is Jackson. So, Jackson, are you okay with this? How do you want to handle it?
What about the hard 9?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where you do what you want. We're a very progressive company here, where it's an unlimited PTO thing. But when
unlimited PTO, Mark.
Right, but when that 6-month review comes around and you might have a little demerit on your report, then we can know what stemmed from that, the origin of it.
Okay, I mean, so Jackson, do you think I'll get written up for this request?
It won't be a write-up, but this is a big, we forgive but never forget kind of situation.
Oh, gosh.
Hey, is that the what is that show? Dang it! So it was the movie, and the guy he wrote A Son Never Forgets, AS. NF. Do you remember that? It was the radio, and he rebuilt the radio for him, and he put "A Son Never Forgets." Remember that or no?
Men of Honor.
I don't remember that.
Men of Honor, says Chairman Kurt.
What is it?
Men of Honor.
Yes, Men of Honor, right? So and so now we could say a producer never forgets.
Right, right.
Right? Is that
Certainly
what
this
you're
producer.
saying?
Yeah, I don't forget.
Yeah, okay, all right, fair
But
enough.
whatever you want to do.
All right,
Whatever you want to do, Soup.
Okay, I think I'm gonna take off Wednesday.
Okay. There goes the Lou Gehrig Award.
Okay.
Okay. Hey, don't worry about it. I mean, it's fine. You take Wednesday off. We get Marquis to call in.
Jason Marquis is going to join us.
And then maybe Carp will call in on the back end of that. Probably not. And then we just kind of backfill.
Well, hey, you know what? I did reach out to Reggie. I'm just saying, right? So
Reggie
I
Sanders.
Reggie
Sanders.
And I think he got inducted into the Hall of Fame. So for the Cincinnati Reds, and I think that was this weekend. And he never texted me back. So I'm gonna have to follow. But that was, I'm trying. I'm trying.
He's trying to augment the calls in the Soup calling. How about that?
Yeah. So I mean, maybe now if I take I guess I'm taking this day off. So do I have to get a replacement? Like a replacement person?
Yeah, I guess you just go and text Chris Carpenter real quick. I'm sure Martin, you said he wants to do it?
Yeah, just say the fellas would love to talk to you.
Okay, I'll text Carp. Yeah, no problem. You got it.
We could recreate the shush. Yeah. Soup may not be familiar, but we were doing the show at spring training. You would have been there, I think.
That was 2006.
And they named the clubhouse in Jupiter at Roger Dean for George Kissel. They put a plaque up, and they had like a little impromptu ceremony, except nobody told us. We were sitting there at the old picnic table bench set up.
Broadcasting.
I had my back to the field, and apparently behind me, the skipper, Tony, was kind of conducting said ceremony. And Jim, the Cat Hayes, and Tim could see the ceremony going on as we came out of the break.
That's right.
I had my headset on. Nobody told me that there was kind of a solemn little quiet, beautiful moment about to take place. Yeah, that's the reason. Got the guys out here. And then I go, hey, welcome back. It's the show. And I guess it was really loud compared to Tony trying to speak to the team and honor Mr. Kissel. And somebody tapped me on the shoulder, and I looked over, and it was Cy Young winner Chris Carpenter, who just went, shh. Oh. And I felt really small.
So did you guys just had dead air for a couple of minutes?
Well, the Cat and Tim totally bailed on me.
100% backed away. No, we're not on this show.
100% cowards. I think they even tis to Carp, like, how about this guy? And I just felt like the biggest loser. I was trying to honor Mr. Kissel here. Got this jackass. And so
many levels. I mean, that got you on so many levels. Obviously, it was innocent, and you weren't trying to. Your two teammates bailed on you.
Yep, good in the room.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Have you ever forgotten? Have you ever forgotten that?
Scarred by it.
I guarantee Chris Carpenter hasn't forgotten.
I mean, to this day, when I see Hayes, I'm like, big shush is here. It's like still a thing. Still a thing. I believe I awkwardly threw it a break.
Okay, well, let's talk about this from a mental skills perspective, okay? So emotionally, if you have value to this, when you're 70, whatever years old, you're going to be sitting with your grandkids. This event still happened. It's going to still be with you. But if you can emotionally let it go, then it'll still just be a stat that happened to you in 2006. So it's your choice. So it sounds like emotionally it's still with you. I mean, just coming from,
that's what you're hearing.
Mental skills perspective. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing right now. So let's work on that. Let's write about it. Let's let it go.
Well, do you think it would help if he's on the show? Let's say Wednesday, you get him to call in, and then he starts telling some story, and then I just go, shh.
Oh,
and now I
retribution
feel,
20 years later.
And then everything's fine.
See, no, because it's still with you. You're still holding, it still has a place in your heart right now, I think this may take a few more sessions.
Okay.
Just talking it out. chalking it out. But it is funny. I mean, I think it's a good moment, right? I mean,
well, notable moment. I don't think Carpenter thought it was very funny, and just poor Mr. Kissel. I don't. I guess the skipper didn't notice. Otherwise, the LaRusso would have just berated me. I don't think he noticed in the moment what was happening, but luckily Carp intervened.
No, that is nice. But, it's like if you were sitting out there all spring training, like, how is that your fault? That's what I'm saying. Like, we've been here the whole time, bro. That's what I would have said.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have said bro, but I mean, you know what I mean?
You would have broed Carpenter.
I think that would have played.
Oh, God.
No, I would have gone to the skipper. But I know if I were you, I would have gone to the skipper and apologized, because he had the big office and you didn't even have a locker. So I mean, I would have gone to him.
Did he really tell you guys that you got the locker, I got the office? Did he really say that to players?
I never heard him say it to a player, but I heard that he said it to a strength guy. And I'm like, dude, that is one of the greatest slides I've ever heard. But other people said yes. And it's true. I mean, hey, that's what I loved about Tony. I mean, he was the leader. You know what I mean? And I appreciated it. So some managers don't always lead that way. You know what I mean? So, we got to take one step back, though. The TMA show started in 2006. You guys were around?
2004. 2004.
Oh my gosh. That's a long, and I've been on, was it always called TMA?
It started as the morning grind, and then after,
yes.
Do you remember that? Now you remember it.
Yeah, now we're connecting dots. I remember talking to you and Kat.
Yeah.
I mean, but so now, okay, so why did you name change it?
It's a great question. Let's see. Our producer Joe was terminated. He told the general manager in no uncertain terms to go F himself. That was considered insubordination. So he was gone.
Okay.
They fired.
Duly noted.
Yeah, that they fired the Cat, and then Martin. I think on the eve of one of your starts in New York at Shea Stadium. Left the show early that morning. The Cat and Martin left the show early. We were doing the show. Remember that, Martin? It's CBS, which is on the west side of Manhattan. You guys, though, were staying out in Queens. I, of course, had it in my contract that I'd stay in Manhattan. Just different strokes for different folks.
Yeah.
And
Grand Hyatt.
Absolutely. And so Martin and the Cat were at the ballpark late for game one. Said we need to get back to get some sleep. Received an email, probably about 7,000 words from our program director at the time, chastising them for that, even though Martin's television station was paying for the trip for him to be there. Martin decided I'd had enough and then quit when we got back to St. Louis. Martin, would that be a fair summary of...
Yeah, for the most part, yeah. The email didn't land well.
So the show was broken. That's correct. When I was reading the email as I was in a cab driving across Times Square, I thought, oh, God, Martin's going to quit when he reads this email. That's exactly what I thought, and sure enough, that was the case. So since the whole show wasn't together, we changed the name of the program to when we came back, but Martin wasn't part of the show for, Doug, would you say 17 years? 2006 to 2024, 17, 18 years. 18 years. Yeah. So yes, that's a Cliff Notes version of the reasoning.
Wow. And so you mean to tell me, so he's still onboarding right now?
Yes.
I mean, when he came back, he had to onboard for what, 3 years?
You can't get the insurance right.
That's correct.
You have to onboard for as long as you left, so he's looking at about an 18-year onboard.
It's great because it is kind of like a TED Talk. There's always somebody from corporate, and then every once in a while they'll bring up a topic and they say, all right, today, class, we're going to get into, if you're ever live on the air and you get shushed, how should you react? And then it's like, here we go, back to square one.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. All right. And so I think we have a book here. I mean, this is really interesting.
Doug, would you like to write a book?
I'm so pressed for time.
Doug couldn't even get to the Cardinal game this weekend.
So terribly busy.
That's fair. That's fair. I mean, I don't know, but I've learned this. I love this history now.
Yeah.
Well, you used to call in because you would say, "Hey guys, what's going on?" It's Soup. Like, hey, Jeff Suppan, everybody. Hey, I'm just looking for directions to Grant's Farm. Sure, we're here to help.
No, that was a huge day because that was before the smartphone, and I knew where it was, but I didn't really know where it was. And you know how it is when you're with your wife, and she goes one place one time and remembers everything. And so I was, and this time she really didn't. I mean, she is on it. And I'll tell you, she told me that I shouldn't say top of the morning to you guys. And I said, that's kind of like, I'm trying to make that my thing, And she's like, no, don't say that. You're not Irish. I'm like, yes, I am Irish. What do you mean? 50% Irish.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Well, Martin and I are Irish.
Now we're talking.
Yeah, I like the top of the morning. I have to say, I politely respect, of course, where your wife's coming from, but you are talking to a couple of mix here.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to bring it back. I don't know what to do because she told me not to, and I'm going to say you told me it was okay. Yeah,
we've authorized it.
But we'll see. You know what I mean? We're just, I'm looking forward to this day off, man.
Yeah, after a while. Yeah, 10 shows in a row will be fine. It takes its toll
on
you.
Physical
Get
toll.
Wednesday, we'll have Carpenter, we'll revisit the shush, and you're going to come back bright-eyed and bushy-tailed for the Cardinals Businessman Special in Pittsburgh on Thursday.
Oh, beautiful.
Yep.
Speaking of Pittsburgh, I had a teammate who I played with in Pittsburgh. He also played for the New York Yankees, and I believe he actually does some work game days in the truck or something like that. He was a relief pitcher. And he lives in St. Louis, and that's all I can give you.
Wow. Oh, is this a quick quiz, a soup quiz? I know the answer, so I'm going to step back.
And he is a big bowler, and he's friends with Jason Samontague. That's all I can
Samontague. Wow. Brian Bowringer?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Is that it?
Loyal listener of this show.
Loyal listener of the program.
And enjoys the soup visits as well. Former teammate.
Yeah, Bo's a legend, man. I tell you, and it was really fun to play with him in Pittsburgh. It was a short visit, actually. That's where I first played with Reggie Sanders and Bo. We actually had a really good team that year, and they traded people and before the All-Star break. That was what year was that? 2003. I enjoyed it. It was fun to be back in the National League.
Brian Bowringer famously in the minor leagues was teammates with Michael Jordan, and he likes to let everybody know he's a good St. Louis Hoosier. And he said he's down there jacking around before a game, and he launches a potato gun, which is a homemade gun that launches potatoes. And Michael Jordan came over and said, "What is that? Where'd you get one of those?" He said, "Well, I made it." He said, "Can you make one of those for me?" And Brian Bowringer, doing St. Louis proud, clearly, on the big stage, apparently made Michael Jordan his own homemade potato gun.
No way.
Nope. Yeah.
What do you shoot potatoes at?
I think just launch them into the air, Doug.
Oh, okay.
That's all it is.
Yeah, too bad, too bad Jordan didn't give him any rights to Haynes or his shoes, for that gift. You know what I mean?
Would have been nice hookup.
Bo just texted and said, "Wow, I'm big time now." Because Bo has been mentioned by Soup on this daily segment, which apparently will be taking Wednesday off.
With Chris Carpenter filling in.
We were going to do a getaway lineup, but I guess it looks like Carp will be in.
Yeah, that's nice.
I want you to actually text him. Just throw it in all seriousness. Give it a shot with Carp and just say we're having some fun. The guys would enjoy it. A lot of former players call in. And then let us see what he actually says in response.
I'm going to text. You want me to text him right now?
Yes. Nice, Doug. We're going to find out.
And kind of workshop it a little bit, that it's been a lot of fun. You've reconnected with the fan base, and folks have really enjoyed Carp, and then see what he says.
I mean, usually I do voice to text, so this may take me a little bit longer.
Yeah, that's all right. Well, you can follow up on that tomorrow.
Yeah, we got another appearance tomorrow. We'll recap tonight in Pittsburgh. Soup, it's always wonderful to talk it over with you. Thank you so much for calling in, and let your wife know that Martin and I are not offended by top of the morning.
Okay, we'll bring it back tomorrow,
right.
and then I'll see you tomorrow.
That sounds like a plan. Doug, Jeff Suppan,
all right,
9
Sounds like a
show.
Carpenter on Wednesday. Put it on the log.
There is Jeff Suppan here on the Collier and Thompson phone lines. When he comes to St. Louis, he ought to stop by and see Dr. Brandon Pryor at 100 West Dental. 100westdental.com, right there on Manchester. That's Dr. Brandon Pryor. Sure, everyone understands. Nobody looks forward to going to see the dentist, but Dr. Brandon Pryor and his team make it easy with the newest in technology, and all you got to do is go online at 100westdental.com. Dr. Pryor is waiving the cost of a 3D scan and implant consultation for the TMA audience. That's a $450 value, and that's on the house just to see if you're a good candidate. Get your smile and your life back. Call 100 West Dental. It's 636-585-0100. Or visit 100westdental.com to schedule right from your phone. Tell them I sent you for a complimentary implant consult. The program's called TMA. It's presented by Brown & Crouppen on 101 ESPN. FanDuel makes everything more exciting. You can bet the Kentucky Derby on FanDuel, where you can bet on all your other favorite sports. And right now, all customers get a Derby bet reset. That means you'll get racing bonus back if your bet doesn't win. The app is super easy to use, and you don't have to be a horse racing expert to get in on the Derby Day action. So, bet the fastest 2 minutes in sports on FanDuel. Jackson, you got to play for us.
Yeah.
What do you got?
FanDuel has a nice little 50% same-game parlay profit boost going on in the NBA tonight. It's got to be 3 legs. So the one I'm looking at, the one I've already honestly placed some action on, is the Pistons minus 2.5. Wendell Carter Jr. to record 8 or more rebounds, and then Duncan Robinson to make 3 or more threes. That's paying plus 597 with that profit boost.
There it is. Jackson's play is out. Kentucky Derby and Kentucky Oaks are registered trademarks of Churchill Downs Incorporated. It's FanDuel. Must be 21 or older in present Missouri. Verified. FanDuel racing account required. Refund issued as non-withdrawable racing site credit that expires 9 days after receipt. Max refund $10 unless otherwise specified. Restrictions apply. See terms at racing.fanduel.com. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Welcome back to the Morning After 101 ESPN. And the 10 o'clock hour brought to you by Design Air Heating and Cooling. And we'll have the winner of the Design Air Heating and Cooling email today coming up at 10:55. Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn, Chairman Kurt sliding into the dais with Martin dealing with that, apparently, an 18-year onboarding process.
Yep.
Holy crap.
It's thorough. Robust, even.
To work here, you have to really want it.
Jackson Burkett is on the ones and twos here on the program. And, Doug, you can tell people about Design Air Heating and Cooling. I know you can.
I can, because I've had them out to my house. I think many of us on the show have as well, had the folks from Design Airs, because they are simply the best, not just because they're the home of the handsome repairman. That helps, of course. But what really matters is that they take great care of your air conditioner or your furnace. Whatever you need, Design Air is there for you. When it comes to heating and cooling, trust the name that's been around much longer than all of us. That is Design Air. They've been proudly serving the area since 1904, believe it or not. Not just another HVAC company, also the longest running sponsor on TMA, and we love that. Thank you, Seth Goldcamp, fourth generation family member running the business there at Design Air. They believe in honest work. You're not going to be sold something that you don't need ever. So whether you're dealing with the St. Louis cold or the summer heat, they have got your back with dependable service and no pressure solutions. Visit designairservice.com. Schedule your service today. Design Air is comfort you can count on since 1904, home of the handsome repairman, people like the bold and daring Adam and the very helpful Anthony. Design Air brings the heat.
At what point onboarding do they let Martin add his name as a host on the podcast page? That's from Jackson's boy body, who is not happy that Martin's name isn't on the podcast page, Doug? What podcast page are we talking about here? Jackson Burkett.
What is a podcast page?
Podcast, the morning after. Hold on. Because I don't think that's accurate.
Okay.
No, that's
so while you're tending to that, now they're not happy about this. Is there anything more annoying than people saying they're Irish or German or Italian, even though their ancestors immigrated 3 or 4 generations ago? You're American. Shut up.
Oh.
Reply guy.
Gosh.
That's Twitter reply guy?
Big time. Nope. The podcast page on Apple, which would be the same. The description doesn't change platform to platform, has Martin on there. Tim McKernan, Martin Kilcoyne, Doug Vaughn, Jackson Burkett.
Okay, Nipper School Monitor is not happy. In the Michelob Ultra YouTube chat, Soup segment's fine, but it sounds like he needs other hobbies or friends. So he's done.
The Yugoslavian bruiser's unhappy. He says a repairman's looks are not going to be able to repair what needs to be repaired.
Jackson, I mean, what?
What's going on? What's going on?
This is what we read every day. And as Jeff Suppan paused, he goes, wow, that's a long time. Yeah. That's half my life. I've been just, Doug, excoriated here.
Yeah, it's just unbelievable.
3, 4, and today 5 hours. I mean,
5 sweet little hours.
That's right, maybe. 5 sweet little hours. You can participate and vent with the show that you've been listening to for 2 decades. 314-399-9646. That is the Air Comfort Service text in on inbox, and then of course you're welcome to call in too. 314-974-0101. Collier and Thompson phone lines. Also, they weren't happy with the Browns head coach. I'm not familiar with the story. I just see the audio, and it has my curiosity piqued. Jackson, can you give me any context?
Yeah, Todd Monken, head coach of the Browns, was asked about the mini camp that they did, I guess, last week.
And the neighbors were calling, complaining?
Small town, Ohio, yeah. So here's the audio.
You kind of share how did Deshaun and Shador and Dylan look? Now you got all.
We just couldn't get past the draft and get right on to back to the quarterback. Anybody got some Miles questions too while we're at it? I mean, hell, while we're just here at night. First off, I'll address the question. First of all, it was awesome. 3 days, the weather was unbelievable. To get out on the grass and pump the music and get fired up being together, and the neighbors complained and we didn't care, and we pumped up the music louder. If they don't like it, they can move. And so I didn't care.
Eminent domain with the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, they don't like. Yeah, that's true too. It's like who's that making all that noise out there? Oh, the Cleveland Browns. I'd be a little frustrated.
When did they start setting up NFL practice facilities in neighborhoods?
Yeah, it's odd. We're in Macomb. That's more of a college
No,
town
it's
vibe.
just a college campus.
Do you like the idea of going to like local parks for the NFL players to
Yeah,
train?
I kind of do.
That'd be kind of
When
fun.
the Rams first got here, they were at Parkway Central.
Home of the Colts.
Really? Beautiful football field there.
Yeah. And then they moved to Maryville. And then they were at the Boys and Girls Club on Kings Highway there. Remember?
Oh, yeah.
They were
Yes,
there for a while.
I do remember that.
Matthews Dickey Boys Club.
That's right.
And then they got the new place built.
That's right.
Yeah, they bounced
I
around.
forgot about that. Boo-hoo! Feel sorry for Tim because he's an overpaid radio guy. Maybe dig a ditch, you rich elite.
Oh.
Doug, that's from the 618. He's not happy.
No, not at all.
Can you hear me good?
Is that Vivian Azure that I just
It sounds like it.
This is kind of an economy question. Are you stocking up on bananas?
Perhaps my favorite question ever asked on this show.
Big Red used to be at Lindenwood, and they would eat at Noah's Ark. That's from Mongo.
The buffet? Or is that the restaurant that looked like a boat? Nice. Bring that
Real
back.
nice, thank you. That's no longer with us.
Yeah,
bring it
that's
back.
quite a landmark.
Oh, that's exactly right. All right, we'll take a commercial break, come back with final segment in the Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day. Winner, it's TMA 101 ESPN.
Caw, do you hear that, Battlehawk fans? That's the sound of Battlehawks football, and it's back at the Dome for the 2026 season. And Lee's famous recipe chicken wants you to be a part of it. That's why their new Battlehawks box will get you 4 of their famous hand-bread chicken strips and an order of potato wedges. Plus, on top of all of that, you get a code valid for buy one, get one free Battlehawks tickets. With this deal, you can get game day ready with a Battlehawks box for just $9.99 at any St. Louis area Lee's famous recipe chicken location. Again, 4 of the famous hand-bread chicken strips and an order of potato wedges. Plus, you get a code valid for buy one, get one free Battlehawks tickets. You can get this Battlehawks box in-store or by ordering online on Lee's new mobile app, where you can also earn points for free food and discounts. That's Lee's famous recipe chicken, partnering up with the St. Louis Battlehawks. This is Jackson with the Sports Center update brought to you by Universal Windows Direct. Cardinals Pirates tonight, 5:40 first pitch. Dustin May on the mound for the Cardinals. That was another Sports Center update brought to you by Universal Windows Direct. You'll be saying, I love my windows.
All right, Jackie Papers has the winner of our Design Air Heating and Cooling email today. I know who I voted for. Did my vote carry the day?
It sure did. It sure did, Tim. Because Big Tank Del Vecchio.
Yes, Jerry Big Tank Del Vecchio has won the Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day. Congratulations to Big Tank Del Vecchio.
How big is this tank?
I don't know. He's been doing it for 46 years in St. Louis, selling media from Boatman's Bank parking lots in a Buick Passenger.
I don't know.
Passenger side. Congratulations to Big Tank Del Vecchio. Congratulations to James Carlton. He's my insurance agent. And I couldn't be more grateful for the kind of work that he does and his staff provides at Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency. 314-961-4800. Go online at carltoninsurance.net. James now has Jackson Burkett as a client. He has Jamie Rivers as a client. He has BK and Ferrario as clients. We welcome you to become a client as well at 314-961-4800. Go online at carltoninsurance.net. Get great customer service and save money. Why wouldn't you at least make the phone call to find out? That's James Carlton of the Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency. Time for us to shut it down. BK and Ferrario are coming up next. For Jackson Burkett, for Chairman Kurt, for Martin Kilcoyne, for Jeff Suppan, for my brother Kevin, for Douglas Elvin Vaughn, I'm Tim McKernan. This has been The Morning After, presented to you by Brown and Crouppen from the Stiefel Studios on 101 ESPN and the TMASTL YouTube channel.